On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, we are here to talk to you about new GUDAGUDA in space! Not yet in space, but also possibly in space.
Soon space.
We don't know. Hello, I am one of your hosts. I am the Great Headless Omega, and with me as always, iPatchThinking.
Everyone, I hope you're enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka The Greatest Show and Chaldea. And while we here at Studio Making like to bring you the latest FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EA versions of the game. So anyone not wanting spoilers should praise me, because I called it.
Somebody pick up that phone. We are coming to you with silky smooth sound levels. My sound levels are better if I don't. Yeah, we're nice. I was double checking. We seem nice and balanced today. When I lean my head over slightly to look at my second monitor to watch the Audacity sound waves crash back and forth, I get a little softer because my mouth moves slightly. But we'll see about that. We'll see how stuff goes. But hello, hi, welcome to the show. I would like to remind everybody this beautiful show that we make for you every week is brought to you by our patrons like Adam DeHar, Comics, Lucas G, Carlos Dragon Ferris, Jeremy Vasquez, Jonathan Sandoval, Legendary Buster, Liam Kessler, Regent Raptor, Rogue Robin, Char, or Shunny P, some guy named Bob, Servant23, and Baron the Crow. If you like what we do, want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies, and it really helps us out. Thank you for your support, everybody.
Thank you.
Lucky takes a big sip of his hot drink,
TM.
I do not have a hot drink, because it's actually... Last week it was really friggin' cold down here, but towards the end of this week it's been more normal temperatures. It's like only 65 degrees out at 8:30 at night. But here we are.
Temperature right now. We're 44 degrees.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're at different latitudes. But if you're tuning into the show and you perhaps have not caught up with us for the past couple of weeks because nothing was happening, yes, we've still been recording. I said we make the show every week. You should go back and watch those shows. I know we did a thumbnail thing last week, but now don't worry, we have a new brand new TM thumbnail this week.
Oh, I'm not gonna say it's brand new. It's been retrofitted.
I know it's not brand new, but it's new. Yeah, we talked about this on What's Up, another show we do that people do actually tune in. I think some of that was Lucky playing Blue Archive for like 40 minutes, but it worked. It suckered him in, slurped him in. That's a really interesting sound wave. That doesn't look like anything. You'd never be able to tell I made a vacuum noise just then. Anyway, people actually watched that. We talked a little bit about changing up our thumbnails, so we're looking towards some slightly more standardizing based on some stuff I've seen a lot of other people doing, which involves, distinct colored borders and inclusion of the logo directly. So.
Oh shit! I didn't think about that. Oh.
I think it's okay because we have Let's Talk FGO in the upper section. Mm. For instance, I'm not. Though I will possibly include in fact, I shouldn't say possibly, I will probably try and include in some form, the red and black border in my next progression thumbnail, just to border it. The fundamental formation of those is not going to change because I do those basically seasonally, and we've got like 4 or 5 episodes left on this version of the thumbnail anyway. Mm-hmm. But I do put a lot of work into those, figuring out, trying to find the bed images and how the logos work and stuff. So we're going to basically try and unify a little more of our consistent stuff, and you'll see it, hopefully with a little more color, a little more pop, and in videos that don't necessarily integrate, anything else, like a lot of streams and rando videos. Expect, like I said, the common one you've already seen on a couple of streams this week to show up and pop more. And I've also used it for the AP. I need to decide when we get back to Star Wars if we'll do it that way, but we can cease boring the people. It's been like 4 minutes. I can say fuck all I want now.
Yeah.
So, with all that little bit of pre-show biz and our usual reminding you to watch content we do, and possibly to like it and subscribe to it, and to click bells for notifications. I know some people do that at the front now. We should move on with the show and check in with everybody's favorite Kohai, Mesh.
Senpai! 起きてください.
Sorry, I lost my button for Wake the Fuck Up Senpai, a regular second for pro tips. I found it, though. I don't really have a big pro tip. In NA, there's not a lot going on right now. But there will be soon, assuredly. So
TM.
Yeah,
I'm going to say TM a lot tonight.
Yes, soon. TM. So hold on to your butts for Thanksgiving. The panel should be after this episode goes out for the public. I believe it's 4:30 EST, which will be about 1:30 PST. Mm-hmm. And, usually I get the shows out several hours before that. So depending on how long this is, anybody should have been able to fully see the show and go through all of it. By the time, that happens, the panel will be over by the time we go for What's Up, so we may or may not mention it if it's, super urgent, but it probably won't be super urgent. It'll probably be, you get some free Saint Courts and we announce some stuff for next week.
I'm still betting we're going to get some Carnival and Solomon news.
Probably. I know that I believe the Solomon Blu-ray is going to be released in Japan in January next year, so, but we'll see what happens with the panel and stuff. think it's streamed, so we should be able to check in.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be able to tell you about it next week, because we can't hold the show. We've got stuff to do, to talk about. Talk things.
The show waits for no one.
So we will move on down the line with some of our future regular subjects. I'll take that Greg Miller gift. Also, Lucky, that's your cue.
Sorry. I forgot, okay? Listen, we haven't been doing much with Records of the Throne, so it kind of slipped my mind. But it is time for Records from the Throne, our regular achievement topic. It is just me this week.
I have accomplished nothing. I've logged into Blue Archive and shot some robots and delinquent schoolgirls. That's most of what I've done with my week. And also like 5 other things I'll talk to you about on What's Up.
So, all I managed to do is I managed to protect MHXA's smile. I got very fortunate with a super suck there in the back half, because boy howdy does that 80 to 90 just hurt. Every time.
Just inhale embers noise.
So, there's that. Where I'm going from there, I'm not entirely sure, because we're in the middle of the interlude campaign right now.
Yep.
And I was only able to do one new one. Who was it? Shit. I did it, and now I can't remember it.
I did Tomoe's, because that's got an NP upgrade in it. I don't think I can do Valkyries yet, because they need their bond level up, and I literally only just got them on the... I think it was technically on Saber Wars? Yeah, I think that was while rolling for Space Ishtar. I got spooked by a Lancer. So
now it's gonna fucking bug me. Guys, who was on the interlude campaign?
Anastasia, Tomoe, Shin Young-yu, Prince of Lanling, Napoleon.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was. Shin Young-yu. That's what it was. Pandas. We were Operation Pandas. That's right. Okay.
I haven't done
I remember.
Yet. It's on my list, though. I
haven't been able to do Tomoe's because I just realized I don't have her at Bond 5 yet. I was like, oh.
Rip.
Which surprises me. Usually I'm a lot better.
It sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
Like, I've got a lot of servants. I'm shocked. I think I still don't. Speaking of interludes, I think I still, even though she's been cruising in my frickin' EXP team forever, I still don't think I technically have Parvati at Bond 5 yet. I know it's not her level that's keeping me from doing her interlude, because I've got her costume and everything unlocked. So I'm like, have I not managed to put you to Bond 5? I think you've been chilling in like the back of my EXP team for like 6 months. Jesus.
I guess it's how you've been doing EXPs, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I've gone like crazy ham. I did not go crazy ham during the DL team, because nothing really interesting happened. But
no,
yeah.
like I said, other than that, Neptune, I haven't been doing much. I literally log in for like 15 minutes, do like 3 runs of APs, fed them into MHXA, and called it a day. Yeah. But no, like looking about that, I've been like, I should probably start working on these interludes, and I'm like, oh yeah, I just have like all these other levels and bond levels to get, and that is kind of a pain in the butt. Thanks.
Yeah, maybe we can stick somebody in the back for a lotto.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
That's the other reason why I haven't necessarily been going ham, is because I want to save my apples for Lotto.
Yes. We need to save up our energy. We'll have a very hectic December.
Yes.
November can be kind of whatever. But alright, that sounds like Achievos.
Mm-hmm. So, this one's, we do technically have a Not All the World's Evil, but Damn Close, but it's something minor, because this is Lucky continuing to be lucky, and the fact that he is not lucky. So... I had told myself I was going to be a lot better about making sure to log in and whatnot, and guess what? I broke my streak again. This time, not because I forgot to log in, but because I forgot of daylight saving times and the fact that the cutoff was an hour earlier. I'm just like, no! It was literally that moment of, like, it's 8:06, I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV with the squad, and I'm like, oh wait, we gotta make sure to log in, and everyone's like, oh yeah. So we log in, I see that my login streak was broken, and I just had this moment of, what the fuck?
What happened?
And then what happened? Whomst? And just that moment of like just remembering it's November and daylight savings happens.
It's an hour earlier.
It was just pain. It was pain. I
died
a little inside.
You win some, you lose some. Sometimes you make that phone call. Other times you forget to log in because it moved an hour.
And that's me.
As my father likes to say, some days you're the bug and some days you're the windshield.
A lot of dads like to say that. I don't know why.
I don't know. I assume it's like maybe it was like a common thing in like the 70s.
Sounds like a 70s thing.
That's just the generic dad's time. Well, for my dad anyway, and for some of our listeners' dads, that might be a little weird for some of our audience. Those might no longer be primo dad years. Nope. How old's your dad, chat? Tell me in the comments below of YouTube. Anything for engagement. But all right, yeah, Not All the World's Evil records, little minimal, you know. We're powering up. We're going through.
I'm glad I saved you, Catboy. Glad I saved you. Don't suffer the same fate that I did.
Yes, if Lucky mentioning logins, whether this is, you're listening live as a patron or you're listening in the future, if you think to yourself, have I logged in yet? Maybe you should check. Just in case. You never know.
You never know.
So let us move swiftly on to, did you finish your master missions? To finish your master missions, you're going to need to do a lot of 15s. They're all 15, so I'm just going to list out what they are, and I'm not going to say the number 15 anymore. So you've got to defeat Saber or Lancer enemies, Archer or Assassin enemies, Rider, Caster, Berserker enemies, evil enemies, male enemies, or female enemies. We don't care about servants, we don't care about bosses, we don't care about mobs, just defeat enemies in 15s with certain traits and qualities. I guess you're supposed to be doing, dailies or something during this time. You can kind of do this in interludes, though, if you try.
One day before the show, I'm just going to have to sit down and actually figure these out. Because I'm going to be real, Omega. Having this segment and going, just do stuff. I don't think it's the most informative.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes when they're more complex, we have an actual advice. These are just 3 of them are literally defeat 15 of any 2 classes, or 3 in the last. So that's literally just do EXPs, right?
Right.
Evil male and female are different. You can't do EXPs that way. So you probably want to just farm daily mats. That's the easiest, probably. Because I don't think...
Probably.
Well, actually, no. Skeletons might actually be evil. So you might be able to go to Fuyuki for Bone Zone. I don't know off the top of my head what the cheapest AP-wise male and female is. Usually for event-specific stuff, we have betters. Normally, when we originally started doing Did You Finish Your Master Missions, this was an audience suggestion. We take your suggestions sometimes, people. Be sure to give them. Was the idea of just a check-in, hey, reminding you, hey, these are your master missions, because you go, oh, fuck, because, it's only a couple days before reset. I think the best one of those is, do 30 FP summons. That is always something I literally forget to do until I write it down, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's literally easy. I'll do it right now. Tap, tap, tap. Boop, boop, boop. But, yeah, I had free time to kill on writing my other notes, so maybe for some of the traits and stuff, we can double-check where some things are... Give some hints, some pro tips if people need them.
Yeah.
But half of this should be dirt easy. And, some of them are so fucking easy. That's where, do the event came from as a meme. Because you literally can't miss them if you're doing the event. But not right now, there's no event. God knows what next week's master missions are going to be, too. But anyway, let's move swiftly on to news. It's time for some news. It's the Skelegrams. Just JP news. There is no new NA news yet. I know we will get scooped tomorrow, but, we'll literally come out hours before. We would have to redo the whole fucking schedule. It's too late now. We're doing it. We need something here's the thing. GUDAGUDA Close Call happened in JP. It's going on until the 1st of December in JP. We need something to talk about next week, guys. We need stuff to talk about this week, and also we need to do the show next week. So, we'll get scooped. If it's super urgent and it starts right away, I can always fire off another news desk. People will occasionally watch those. But anyway, as predicted, GUDAGUDA Close Call. It started right after the stream, 17th, going until the 1st of December. You'll join the GUDAGUDA crew in a detective race to find the missing head of Nobu.
There's a story here.
Yes. And yes, there's a very funny sprite of Nobu with a sign where her head goes. It's very funny. But yeah, there's a lot of drama and stuff. You complete the story to get new Welfare Avenger. That's right, it was Avenger. Scratch off your bingo card. Mysterious Ranmaru X. We'll talk more about that servant later. Also, this is a mission event, and we have yet another quality of life update for mission events. I love this. So if a quest has enemies for a specific mission in it, icons appear on the quest selection, just below the name and AP cost, and will show you the enemies you need to hit that are in it without you clicking on the little menu. So if you haven't seen those specific enemies yet, so you haven't encountered them or done the quest at all, they will still show up as question mark icons, but still, they've added a little icon bar so you can see the sprites of the enemies you need to beat up for missions, and I'm like, I love this.
That's good.
Yeah. Obviously... The pure aspect of the fact that you can hit the little info tab and you can check drops and enemies together. That's cool. But for missions, and they were highlighted before, that's an update we already have over here, is they will highlight enemies you've encountered that are good for missions, but now this is just bringing that information to the fore, reducing even more confusion on the subject of defeating mission enemies. So the banner is new SSR caster Izumo No Okuni. This is our Wonder Twins called it. I was like, it'll be a caster, and Lucky was like, it will be Okuni. Together, we have formed one complete prediction. It was not Saber Raiko. This is not just a naked Okuni banner, though. Summer Nobu is back. I think she has to be one of the summers with the most rate-ups. But also, no new limited 3-star. Izo and Mori are both back. which is very nice. Izo also gets a new costume. Now he has 2 costumes. I suspect it's because Paco can't be stopped.
Much like many of our artists.
Yeah, so Izo gets a new costume, which is, kind of a suit and shirt sleeves going on, as opposed to his, more formal travel wear. Also, you see it in the promo images, and it's showed up as a couple of sprites. There is a different look of Ryoma in this. This may or may not be a real thing, or it might just be a cool art that Paco did for fun. This could turn into a real thing, or it could be yet another thing that doesn't go anywhere. It's just a story thing. Paco drew a cool art. We use it. I believe there have been other story sprites appearing for people and stuff. There's a character design that people are saying may have been drawn by Clamp. And there's even more stuff. So, as usual, a GUDAGUDA event comes out. It throws out arguably one character who was foreshadowed, because Mori Nagayoshi talks about his little brother in the other one. And but also, Okuni is just not out of nowhere. Lucky had his logic, for instance, for saying it would be her. But Okuni is not a character who was previously featured in a GUDAGUDA event. They did not appear. So we continue the backlog of many, many story sprites. Mm-hmm. At this point, they should just make a GUDAGUDA gacha game. They have the roster for it. By the way, the map looks like it's a little bit of a FF7 reference. It's a city. It's got 8 sectors, I think, total. It's got big reactor-y looking things in there. Mm-hmm. You could be a reference. Hold on, I'm rubbing my eyes. It's not a good sign.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll talk about why I thought Okuni was going to happen later when we're actually in servant details.
We will have more details on those 2 new servants later. I have a fair bit of talk both about their kits, which are both very interesting, and a little bit of their history, and we'll have more jumping off points, including if you have confusion about what's going on with why Ranmaru is mysterious, and more. All is spoiled through stat lines. I mean, I'll admit, when I was looking up the stats, I had to start digging deeper, because I didn't see any out-and-out profile translations yet. So I was like, okay, hold on, I'm confused. There's some stuff here. But we got there, we covered that. But yeah, other than that, I don't think there's a lot to talk about the event in general, other than that, as usual, memes, story sprites, the works. There was a stream.
The good shit.
Yes, we already mentioned the thing about the Solomon Blu-ray, because that came up when we talked about future predictions. Mm-hmm. I think they touched on some other stuff. Actually, this is not in my notes, but we should mention it, because there was a very funny picture about this. Hold on.
Oh, Omega?
Yeah, sorry, I had to hold on. My Audacity lagged for a second. I think it's caught up. It's fine. My display stopped flowing. I was like, hold on, no, we're good. So yeah, sorry I was quiet there for a sec. I had to make sure and stare at it. But no, what I was saying was that on stream they also showed a key visual.
Yes.
For Case Files 2.
Yeah.
Confirming we are getting a second season. Toko is in the key art. After 10,000 years, somebody remembers she exists outside of a light novel or a manga. Or outside of Nasu's liner notes, I guess. So they've announced the second season, and my understanding of translations and of people who've watched the stream of the news is that once again, during New Year's stream, they're going to show us an episode 0, and then the actual season will be sometime next year. Mm-hmm. So it'll be relatively like the first. We should get a initial episode out, and then the actual anime will come later, which is neat.
I'm excited.
Also,
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. It looks cool, and what I was going to say was not entirely unexpected, because we brought this up when the original season came out. They only covered maybe half of Case Files, and probably not even.
No, the Rail Zeppelin is just one arc out of
several. It was one arc, and it was 2 volumes out of oh gosh, how many volumes are there?
I want to say 11, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I thought it was 10-ish. But it was basically one arc that was 2 volumes of the light novel, and that was only half of the season. The other half of the season was set up to basically establish characters and principles. If I had to guess, a second season of Case Files will probably skip that anime original stuff and just do maybe 2 arcs, in 13 episodes or whatever. But who knows?
Okay, so I'm looking at the arcs here. It has the Adra Castle, Twin Form, Mystic Eyes Collection Train, Atlas Contract, and Grand Resolution. So it looks like it has 5 arcs. I'm not sure how many light novels though. I don't know. But again, I'm excited. And I'm glad Toko's in, because again, I went down the hole. Aozaki sisters are in everything, and I want them just to have more representation.
And I'm pretty sure... I'll double check. I can double check now. We have a back half of the show. I am pretty sure, though, that's going to be the result, that one.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go there. Yep, Tamlin squeaked out with 56%. Interesting. Oh, well, it will win because it's a dead tie. It's dead 50-50.
Well, guess what, people?
It's 50-50, so guess what? Lucky breaks the tie.
Listen, if you think I'm not going to pick the thing that I have been literally foaming at the mouth on for the past month, you're
talking crazy.
Yeah.
No, but all right, yeah, okay. With 18 votes, that means it's 9-9, 50%. It ended today. Today's the 19th. That's when the poll actually closed, so these are locked in. Tamlin Lancer will be our Fan Servant Friday, finally, after that poor boy has been in the rotation for like a year. And it's going to be Awazaki Sisters. That means that December will be about Sienna Melty Blood, if you care. Because I don't have any crazy new topics right now. But alright, that catches up, I think, with the news and stuff.
By the way, shout out to French Bread for getting Melty Blood in the best fighting game this year.
Yeah. No. Hey, maybe they'll win an award. I voted for it. I haven't played it, but I voted for it.
I mean, same.
Considering that I feel like FGO keeps getting fucking snubbed. I mean, maybe not fucking snubbed, but like a little bit of snubs.
A little bit of snub. I mean, Genshin Impact's in there.
Axe, are you drunk? Show close to ending? we have not even opened the bag yet, sir. The mission clock is 24 minutes.
To be fair, it might be because we're talking about the poll results.
It's true. I talked about the patron results, but no, that came up organically in Skelegrams because we were talking about the case files news.
Yes.
I mean, it's not teasing if you always be like that when you show up late. You know you're late to the ping. We don't have much news. I mean, the show's only been going on for 24 minutes, but we also have not yet fired in. So let's see. The case files announcement was on the GUDAGUDA stream, and I think that's everything that was there. Like I said, I think we're about wrapped up with news. Unless somebody wants to throw some news there.
I feel like there was something else, but I can't remember. I could just be dumb, though.
I mean, we don't pre-show for half an hour. This one was slightly longer because Lucky was fiddling with a slightly different thumbnail.
Yeah.
And also fiddling with your tablet for the thumbnail. But anyway, it wasn't 30 minutes. But sometimes we faff for a long time, not this time. But yes. No, if anybody in patron chat, support us at the 10 and up level or higher, you can get into our patron channel and listen to the show live recording, so you can comment to us. If you guys think of anything, let me know, but otherwise I think I want to pass it over to Lucky for the bag of mail.
Alright, well, since he's passed it over to me for the bag of mail, let us begin this week's Let's Talk FGO mailbag segment where we reread what you have to say and comment accordingly. We have 18, I'm not refreshing, we have 18, and we're gonna get into it immediately. So, this first one comes from Birthday Boy Dave, who says, are there any weapons or fighting styles you hope to see in the game? It'd be cool if there were more characters with axes. I completely agree with this. I am a hafted weapon man. I love hammers and I love axes. I think they're cool.
And they are, sadly, one of the classic weapons that is completely ignored by the class system.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, there's a lot of fucking legendary swords. Not so much legendary axes and hammers.
There are a few, though.
I
don't know if I would have gone straight for the class system, but like it's funny because we have a literal class triangle now, but it somehow manages to almost but not quite be similar to the weapon triangle from Fire Emblem, right? Because axes aren't in the Knights class. But yeah, it's an interesting case. I guess Nasu didn't play a lot of barbarians.
So with that though, I will leave that there. Actually, no, that's me. Mega, do you have any? Sorry, I fell off an edge.
It happens.
Omega, do you have any weapons or fighting styles you would like to see in game?
No, I'm kind of spoiled by FGO, all things considered, and Fate in general. As you know, I like swords, but also, I have a lot of fun thoughts about weapons. But bows and spears are also already well represented. I know a lot of people make about the archer class is really made of archers, but there are actually some archers who actually talk archery. So, no, I'm pretty good. And lancers, despite being called lancers, are usually spearmen. So, no, we've got a decent hit of the stuff. We could possibly go for some more exotic weapons, but I'm not always a huge fan of those either. So, it seems like we got a decent amount in there.
Oh, with that, we're gonna move on. So I'm looking at this next one, and guys, if your alias is more than a sentence, it is no longer an alias.
Yeah, there's a full stop in here.
That is not an alias. And since you do not have an alias, this is not a question. So this one gets yeeted.
That's a good barometer. If you have to use multiple forms of punctuation in your alias, you've probably gone too far and you need to stop.
Alright, so I have yeeted that one to the void. Moving on. This next one comes from the Eternal Storm, who says, good evening to you both. Hope you're enjoying the week. It's Friday. I spent a whole bunch of money, But I got a new tablet. I'll talk about that more tomorrow. Question. What do you think would be the most drastic reaction to a servant would have to their lost belt cells? Is there a read more? No, there's not a read more. So this is it. Honestly, I'm not sure what you mean, my dude.
Well, I think the idea is, when we meet characters who are different in Lost Belts versus Panhuman history. But we get most of those? I feel like you should, you should be able to trace this. You should look for characters who have reactions to themselves and find them. I guess the exception would be maybe, some of the ones that we don't have both versions of, like Ivan.
Because I don't necessarily think of any character that we have that has a direct Chaldean counter.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. Zhang Yu is Zhang Yu, though. That's the thing. Just because Qin Shi Huang didn't turn him into a robot horse doesn't mean that he's not a robot man who could become a robot horse.
Oh, I guess that is a proper example. Arjuna Alter versus Arjuna.
Yeah.
I guess that is
Scotty versus Skahak. But Skahak doesn't care about anything, so she's fine.
Yeah. And I feel like Arjuna would also be like, I don't give a fuck. Whatever.
Oh, well, no, I don't want to be mean to Axe. I'm sure lots of people reject creativity and are like, we should take one of our most unique and interesting and fucking weird character designs and make him just a man again. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Love is love.
I'm pretty sure that's Summer Yu's Bond CE. My husband is a robot man. We don't have physical intimacy. It doesn't matter. I'm a vampire. He's a robot. This manga coming this fall. Anyway.
Asexuality, I guess it is. Anyway, moving on. This next one comes from, I'm baking my own skill cookies because I never seem to get enough in-game. That's fair. Subject. Dear Lucky Omega. Just wanted to spread some good wishes and cheers to both of you for the upcoming holidays. I'm just stoked that my favorite Buster Berserker nurse is getting some spotlight again. Wish both of you the best of luck. Thank you very much, my dude. I, too, am very excited for Santa Nightingale. I'm very curious to see where this story is and what it's going. What led to all this?
Somebody tells Nightingale that Christmas is a day to give goodies to children. The only goodie she can think of is medicine.
No, so...
Eat your pills, pillhead.
Eat your pills.
Pills here.
Pills here.
Do people still get that joke? Left 4 Dead's fucking old.
I wonder if they might have done something similar in Back 4 Blood.
I should watch some people play that game. See if there's anything in it. Or we should just play that game. Either or works.
I gotta see how much it's on. This is real talk. I bought Astray Ascending. I'm tapped for games right now. I'm tapped.
I have that thought as well, yeah. For instance, Steam contacted me and told me Humankind was on sale, and I'm like, it's only 20% off. It's still $40. I don't know if that's on sale right now, Steam. You can do better than that. I mean, I'm okay with OKs. A lot of people say Astray Ascending's okay, but when it does the opening scroll, yes, by the way, I have put I've beaten the tutorial in the game. When it does the opening scroll and then just kind of does the slow zoom in, and your first playable segment is sprites of thick thigh cat ladies walk by.
Yes,
yes, fine, yes. I don't care what you say. This game understands me perfectly.
It's like my first thought is I see we're channeling the Vanillaware aesthetic here.
We're talking about Astray Ascending, which has a very long, interesting intro where it talks about what all the different races who you have as all your playable characters do. But when illustrating this, with the males of the cat race are, huge, broad-shouldered lion men who are fucking giants. The ladies just have thick thighs and show them because the cat people are also desert people. It's great. There's also cute harpies. There's the freaky fish guy. We'll talk about it more tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's about JRPG things, which is the common complaint about the story, is that it's a JRPG. But we'll get there. Like I said, I made sure to put in at least, an hour or so, and I might go back to play some more tonight if the show doesn't take forever.
I have to get out this one thought. I don't mind the JRPG story thing. The thing that kills me right now is all of a sudden I have 8 characters. I'm all like, what the fuck do I do now?
Yes. It was a little intimidating at first, but I at least appreciate that it gives you... I mean, it takes an action, but you can freely switch to any 4 of them, between any 4 of them, and can even do so when... Christ, Axe, you can just fucking Google it if you're so horny for cat ladies. Are you going to wait until tomorrow? But they have good features because you can switch even if you get KO'd. You can switch to reserves, which is good. But it's interesting. We'll talk about it. My current issue is I think the JRPG hour panic, where I've played like 50 minutes of the game. I think it told me my playtime was when I finished the first dungeon. It was like, okay, it's 3 a.m. I should go to bed, and I have just unlocked the ability to access everybody's, class trees, their ascension tree, and I'm just like, oh boy, there's a fuck ton in here. Oh, you guys have extra classes?
Yeah.
You can learn more classes? Oh, fuck. How many hours is this game going to be? I mean, I'll get in there, but damn. Okay, we might be in here for a little bit. We don't need new games. We're good. But all right, let's move on to the next question, because that person was just wishing us well.
Yes. We wish you well as well. I hope everyone's holiday is going to be good. So, this next one comes from Reject Meta, Embrace Favoritism, Return to Monkey, Activate Neurons.
Neurons activated. Catgirl ties.
I just need that. What was that fucking... I need to find that image. I can't remember. It was just some sort of skull dude. I don't know who it was. It was just going, yes. Yes. Y'all have seen that image. It's a meme. It's out there. I need it. But this person goes on to say, question, if you had the option to take one of the gender-bent servants and have them be their in real life male gender, but in return you have to take an existing already male servant and gender-bend them, who would they be? After all, as the alchemist says, to obtain something of equal value must be lost. Have a good day.
I don't know if that question was grammatically correct.
Was it?
I don't know. Who would they be? I don't know if that's tense straight. English is weird.
English is weird.
By the way, also, I like a chat immediately. Robin's statement, no one, nothing. I mean, I kind of agree. This is one of those questions where you hold the metaphorical gun and are like, choose, and I'm like, I don't follow domain terrorists. Like,
I mean, I'm trying to think.
For me, like,
I think, like,
I'm not one of those people who's like, really bothered about gender flips. I know some people, it's really weird, right? Like, some of the people in the Fate fandom, either because of the memes or other stuff, are like uncomfortable with characters being made female when FGO has explicitly stated that their logic is there are way too many dude characters in historical fiction and real life who are prominent because of the patriarchy. I mean, that is actually what they mean by the patriarchy. I know it sounds like it's a dumb conspiracy thing, but that's actually what's meant. So that they do it to allow their roster to be more balanced. And I know sometimes people feel like male servants aren't out there, but we do at least have male characters. I saw somebody quote retweeted a spicy tweet about Blue Archive being one of the quote unquote those gacha games because it doesn't have males in it, and all the replies were just like,
yeah, and?
Yeah. You know that there are gacha games that are only dudes, right? Like, it's a marketplace, my friend. You can pick. So yeah, like, I don't really have any servants I would want to, like, switch their positions on the gender flip team. I don't know. Lucky, does anything, like, come to your brain?
I had to think about it, but do you know a male version I would not mind seeing? Okita. I wouldn't mind seeing a male Okita.
Okay, that could be interesting. I know they did that as a joke, though actual Okita is... Japan's history is very weird, guys, and there's a lot of weirdness about the general cross-dressification and, whether or not it's gay or not, basically, like, in Japan, and it's honestly, we're going to talk about it later. I think some of it starts with Kabuki, but it cuts both ways. Think of how many anime soft boys are voiced by women in Japan too. Like, Japan is a lot more fluid about playing roles. So, Okita being historically, allegedly, supposed to be quite handsome but frail, I could easily see why they wanted to go for the flip, but it was mostly a joke. They could go back. Mm-hmm. We could handle handsome, cool Okita. Does he still have a ponytail? Of
course. The ponytail would be longer.
Yes, Dion is not. That's an actual, like, historical commentary on Dion.
Oh, let me see here.
Actually, but look up the Chevalier.
Who would I want as a male turned into a female?
Well, also we have the veneer of history with the Chevalier Dion, because there's a whole backstory there you guys should go look up if you want to know. Is Babbage genderless? I don't think they make any effort to not, but he does become a train. So giant robot Dion and then sexually ambiguous Babbage. Sorry, we have a whole... Seriously, support us. I mean, I wrote that version of Napoleon before Napoleon was in FGO as basically an extended Nobu joke. Like, imagine tiny Napoleon.
Yeah, if you gave me a tiny female Napoleon, I think that'd be cool, but I feel some people would be very upset that they don't have their big, broad-chested Napoleon anymore.
They would probably miss out because, French might, as some people like to call him, is pretty cool. But, like, I'm actually kind of glad FGO went in a different direction because I feel like the making Napoleon basically just French Nobu would have been the most obvious softball pitch ever.
That's true. Napoleon Alter wins. Small. I mean, they did it to fucking. Well, they didn't call him. They don't call him Alter, but they did it to fucking Jocks.
Yeah, they did some weird something there.
Yeah, they did.
Things are open. We'll never know. Delightworks works in mysterious ways.
All right, so we're gonna move on. So the next one comes here from King of Apples, who can't wait for Nightingale theme "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all" memes. I mean, I'm surprised they haven't started already. Anyway, question: when this is all over, Lost Belt destroyed, and the alien got defeated, will our protagonists have done enough legendary stuff to be considered a servant and be summonable in a hypothetical future Holy Grail war? Quick answer: probably not. Like I said, we do not exist in the time of history, so this is why.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the throne's gonna record us unless that's like the end of FGO. Is we go to the throne, even though the throne is not a physical place, and we punch something there and like leave our thumbprint on it.
I mean, I think the only other way is you have to make a direct contract with the throne, as
and we're already doing this Counter Guardian bullshit unpaid. We should not say that. That job only gets worse. Da Vinci at least gives us hazard pay.
Oh, the biggest paycheck I never saw.
Well, then you could that would make the ultimate. You could be a nameless Counter Guardian move, but no. The most likely thing would be if we qualify as a pseudo like waiver style.
Oh yeah.
Well, I sure hope Gordolf is keeping a tab. He's gonna owe me a couple years about back pay.
Listen. Gordolf's a dork, but I have actually come to believe that he isn't actually a competent leader. I'm pretty sure he's keeping track.
I mean, we talked about this when we did our big Mage Association breakdown. He's from the fucking policies department. He's a mage cop. Or a mage lawyer, however you want to look at it. I'm sure he keeps notes.
Mage legal expert.
And apparently he was cool enough to be a child prodigy, so what the fuck? Who knows?
Oh.
Case files are wild, y'all. I'm glad to get some more. Maybe we'll see Baby Gordolf.
Maybe we'll get more Olga Marie and cry inside. So, with that sobering thought, we move on. This next one comes from he who can neither read nor count, illiterate. Question:
you can write.
I mean, anyone can smash a keyboard.
Monkey with typewriters.
Monkey with typewriters. Question: do you guys want to refight any story fights or even challenge quests? Comment: I personally like to refight Camelot with my current account and game knowledge. However, I am unable to refight story fights or even anniversary fights, especially the Camelot. To quote Hardleg Joe, a famous Yugi tuber, that makes me a sad panda.
Does Hardleg say that a lot? I don't think he does.
I don't know if he says that a lot, but
about him hard to say, hard to leg.
I'm about to say it's like I have not. I hear a lot of people use the term "sad panda" and variety of ways.
Well, there's a reason for that, but we may or may not want to discuss that out loud on YouTube.
Probably not.
No. Say fuck.
Fuck. They go on to say additional question/comment. I feel that the master could be summoned as a savior class servant as well as a caster class. I feel this way because my understanding of the savior class is made up of messiahs, which I feel like the master can be put into this category, seeing as he saved the planet and was basically the savior Chaldea, which saved the world. Thoughts, onions, concerns with the idea. So on the savior idea, no. Here's the thing.
Yeah, on the second bit, scroll up.
Yeah. Masonic figures don't save the world, they lead people. They lead people usually into some new line of thought or way of being. Yes, look at the big J-man, look at the Buddha.
The saving of a messiah is a metaphysical saving.
Yeah.
Whether that's like the concept of somebody who's a better scholar can call me on this, but I think the concept of the Jewish Messiah is like they will come to save the Jewish people because they have been historically oppressed. Buddha is a saver because he introduced the concept of Buddhism to the people and how to free yourself from the wheel of Dharma, and so on. And our other messianic figures, if they exist, it is not necessarily that they proactively save, but rather that they create the concept of salvation, which. Honestly, we've goofed up too much to be a saver. Or it's already been blown up twice. We're more like the savior repairman. Oh shit, your time plumbing's come unstuck. Hold on, let me fix that. Kuda punch!
We...
Possibly, if we actually defeat...
Listen, we are not a saver, we are a hero. And I personally think there is a very, very strong distinction between...
And there's a reason why saver is not a standard heroic spirit class, and also why it's never appeared outside of extra, because I do think they could port saver and they could put characters in it, but I think it really is just Natsu had a cool concept for extra, and then in CCC he was able to flip it, and then Extella doesn't even bother, right?
Right.
Extella does a whole different ass thing, basically setting up foreigners. Not, out and out, but definitely feels like they were pushing in that direction. Nasu and his fucking space boner.
Nice.
But to go to the I think the top one maybe, because on subject of caster we already I think covered that in the response to the last one. Question directly above yours. Funny how that works. Actually, I wanted to tangent briefly because we can do that. Audience, when you leave mailbag questions, do you read other mailbag questions? Like, I know that's kind of spoiling yourself for the episode, but sometimes we get the same question, and I do wonder, do you guys check? Should you think about checking? I don't know.
We got people saying basically once in a while.
Okay. All right. Okay. I was just curious because I know there's some groupthink there. I'm not necessarily against repeated questions, but it does sometimes mean we have to answer follow-up questions with, well, scroll up, roll the tape back. I won't play the loud sound effect. But to the original thing, that's also a scroll back, but a much longer scroll back because I believe several times we've been asked the question about features, and we have actually brought this up. In fact, I think, if I remember correctly, I believe Lucky in particular is a proponent of this idea.
Yes.
That yes, we should totally be able to redo story fights in some form because it would be interesting and probably fun. Well, Axe, you also don't leave questions very often, so I meant mostly people. In terms of when they leave questions, do you read other people's comments? Because these two questions are from the same time, one day ago, and are right next to each other in our list. So I'm curious, do you double check on these kinds of things? But yeah, so Lucky, would you like to compound on your opinion about refighting story, or do you think you've said that enough in the past?
I'll do a crash course. Basically, just the idea is basically any story fight that has like a specific gimmick or whatnot should basically just be put in a section called the simulator. Because guess what? As we go on, the simulator is an increasingly important place apparently in Chaldea. Because man, that's all we got. We want to go outside? No, you go to the simulator.
Yeah, I did Tomoe's interlude, and we go into the simulator for a private chat, and then to make it have a fight, so it's an interlude. The simulator. There's a human error, and the simulator tries to kill you because it thinks you're a bug because it should be turned off. And it's like, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, no, and I can't think of her name right now. Fucking Lancer of White Ash Spear. Yeah, you go to the simulator because you want to try and figure out how to simulate pandas because there's a bug and you don't have panda data. So it's just like, Munenori. This is one of the things this is one of the things that made me actually start loving Munenori. Is that he goes into the simulator to walk around locations and taste food. I'm all like, the fuck, Munenori? That's amazing. I love this man. But, no, just basically put, actually, did we have any necessarily special fights in, pre-Camelot era?
Pre-Camelot? Not really. I mean, I don't know how big of a deal it was. There were a couple of, Herc fights in Okeanos, because he's God-handed up. And there were some, I don't know if they were, interesting or anything. I guess Solomon in London, when he's 4 demon pillars, could be that was supposed to be a little bit of an oh shit moment,
Yeah.
But there's not a lot. I mean, I guess because they usually have specific unique mechanics, kind of, redoing demon pillars might be interesting.
Yeah, that should probably be in there too, yeah. But no, but definitely once we start hitting Camelot and Babylon,
I mean, and also I would say, it just occurred to me, but technically Orleans Jolter is unique because that's when she's still a ruler, right?
Oh, true.
And she has an AoE NP, so that's a very unique fight because the playable version of that character is completely different, and it would be very interesting because, when FGO launched and Orleans was one of the 3 chapters you could access, you didn't have Avengers. There was Berserker with that just still at its normal 1.5 to everybody. There was no true class advantage against rulers.
No.
So that would be an interesting one for people to be able to go back and take a crack at, but it would probably easily get bodied now that there's a Welfare Avenger for sure.
All right, but I do believe that is enough, so we're going to move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from Trainer418, who says, "Hello, Lucky and Omega. Hope you both have a whimsical weekend. P.S. I hope everyone is ready for Bust Pokemon Champion. Get fancy." That's the emo, by the way. For everyone out there who's picking up their copy of, which one is it? Diamond? Pearl?
Yeah, it's Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Yeah. Have fun with it. Don't bother me with it.
Even if I like this generations, also don't bother me with it.
It's like, no, seriously, dude. Like, play your childhood, play all that shit, have the fun time of your life. Please do not expect me to interact with it. I never played Diamond or Pearl. And I can pretty much say with certainty I have fallen off the Pokemon boat. Oh, man. I remember those days, but those days are long gone. I will look at them with rose-tinted glasses and think of, why did I think I could collect all of them? Fuck. Was I mad? Yes. Alright. Oh. Okay, what am I? Yes, I acknowledge the power of Pokemon, thick mommy and waifus, okay? I do. But I can get that just by hitting the Twitter and making sure my safe search is off.
You were in the middle of a thought, but I was going to say that out loud. Don't add it with the game, but I know Lucky will look at Cynthia fan art.
Yes, I will. So
that's a whole different complex about why are Pokemon fans so horny. I think we've had that conversation before.
Probably.
Anyway, where was we?
Anyway, so we're gonna move on. Thank you very much for that. This next one comes for excited for 4-star Avenger Chunni daughter. I wonder who that is. Hey y'all, as much as I would like to bring up interludes, it's probably already been covered already. Not really. Instead, I'll ask, what other updates do you guys want to see us getting early? Or alternatively, can you see that we definitely won't be getting... Hang on. I need to figure out if I'm being dumb here. Or alternatively, can you see any that we definitely won't get until a specific milestone is reached? Okay, I was being dumb, sorry. Ergo, I don't think we're getting full screen ups until at least next anniversary. Didn't we just get?
I think they said by full screen ups, they mean full screen NPs, even though N and U are nowhere near each other on the keyboard. If I had to guess, that's the only version of that sentence that makes grammatical sense.
Okay. I was about to say, because didn't we just get the widescreen?
Yes, we just got. I mean, we didn't bring it up, but we did just get the widescreen update. It's cool. It's nice not to have little blue bars, though. I will admit the UI still looks a little weird to me because it doesn't stretch. It just has extra bits drawn.
It just reminds me of the one time. I don't remember why this happened, but FGO the game is actually a lot wider than we think. I remember this. I remember I got this error. It was during one of the Karu no Kyokai collab. I can't remember if this was the original or the rerun. But I can't remember what I was fighting, but for some reason an attack happened and my screen just zoomed all the way fucking out. On either side of the fight, there is as much space as you see originally on both sides. It's fucking huge. Why?
Yeah,
probably
there's a lot. I believe there's a lot of extra space so they can do certain animations. It's why some characters have to teleport around to move themselves because they need to actually make use of the space, quote unquote.
Yeah, but so yeah, it makes sense that they didn't stretch or anything out there because I think the thing's taking up more space than but that's probably just so that things and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It knows what the picture is, but the display only displays so much, and that's why they had it pillar box before, was because phone resolutions changed and they were like, well, fuck, we didn't set up the display to handle this. But I do not know, I think we'll continue to get full screen NPs as they come, basically
as they come,
because JP already shuffles them out randomly. I don't think they'll go out of their way to bring it up. So, they'll probably continue to do that. I think, specific things for, updates will get early, or won't get early. I would say, for instance, I just brought up the mission thing. I'm going to guess probably not that, because that only started in specifically the GUDAGUDA Close Call mission list, so I'm I bet they're not going to be able to do those sprites ahead of time. They might, but they probably won't. Whereas, shit we do sometimes get early didn't we get, mats for... main story completion early, guys? Chat. Did we get that early? I can't remember. Because if that was early, that means we might get EXPs for main story completion early.
That'd be good.
But basically, if something happens as a big tentpole event release, at an anniversary or New Year's or something, or 1 million downloads, we probably won't get it ahead of time. But remember, JP does fucking a monthly quality of life updates, so those we get early whenever we can port them over. And somebody brought up in chat also any original quality of life and DaVinci Shop subs.
That'd be lovely.
That would be nice. I think she's the only thing that's not subbed that has audio, so that would be the last great hurdle, guys.
Announce it tomorrow.
Hey, I mean, we could. We haven't heard from Albert in quite a while. Not since what was it? It wasn't even the stream, the little video for anniversary, I think.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows what they've been working on? That was all pre-taped, so we shall see.
We shall see. But let me see here. All right. Oh, and they finish with regards. This will make a fine addition to my collection. Always a solid one. Always a solid one. Sorry, I'm tempted to be a gremlin right now in game, but I won't. So, this next one comes from a master peering into future GUDAGUDA and thinking, finally, Alstofa will have a worthy opponent. Considering the implications of that statement, and I don't know. But they go on to say, hey there, guys, happy early Turkey Day, if you have that on the day of thanks. I'm a ham dude. Excuse you?
I'm not a ham guy, so I will have the turkey on the day of thanks. It arrives today. I was told we would not be going anywhere for Thanksgiving, just today, in fact, and my mother popped out to get a turkey, so
we already
shall come.
We already have our ham. To follow up my post from last week, while my job has been giving me plenty of hours, I enjoy the work I do, mostly the people I work with, mostly. So I do have a manager who's willing to hear me out, and so I hope that things will get better, hopefully after the holidays. Real talk, I will say, the holiday crush sucks for everybody.
Yeah, holiday rush, holiday crunch time, whatever you call it, is like a pain in the ass for literally every industry. Capitalism crams so much into, like, November, December, and arguably even October, that, like, and it makes sense because it's, end of a calendar year. It's not the end of the fiscal year, but it's usually a big deal. So, like, everybody, like, gets really invested in it, and I think it, like, sucks for so many industries. And humans all have these weird complex about the end of the year. Like, there's, literally there is seasonal depression that is more common in winter.
Oh, yeah.
And
not getting that sweet vitamin D, yo.
Yeah, so, like, there's a lot wrapped up in the end of the year. It's rough for everybody.
Yeah. But this person goes on to say, I see that person has been to Limsa Lamensa. But, this person goes on to say, anyways, I made the Paul author after throwing a few tickets at his banner. Congrats. And while he has quickly become my favorite AoE saber I have, my question for the week is this. What's the difference between Arthur's and Artoria's Excaliburs? Is one stronger than the other since it has seals placed on it? Curious what you guys think. Also, I need a deep dive into Fate prototype would be cool if you haven't done it already. Stay sane and healthy, my dudes. Also, Nobu.
So we have talked about old concepts for Fate before, and I think I talked about everything you can get about regular prototype. I did not necessarily talk about Fragments, but that's because Fragments is complete and at least accessible if you can read Moonspeak. And so somebody brought this up in chat. Both of them have seals. It's only Arthur's NP animation explicitly removes them. For Artoria herself, the seal removing is usually saved for Rongo for reasons, but they both have the 13 seal system. I think it's just that, like, for the sake of, like, power levels, Artoria is, like, permanently uncapped at, like, 6 seals undone or something.
I think it's more also more, like, thematic because Arthur was, fighting something kind of big and scary.
Yeah, Arthur has a more... In Prototype, Arthur feels like he has more of, like, he gets into either underdog fights or fights with equals, and he has to, like, fight a beast and stuff, so...
Yeah.
They play up the, like, unlocking the seals for more power, whereas Artoria Saber is even more of an underdog in the sense that depending on the route, she can't even reliably fire Excalibur because Shiro's insides will, like, turn to dust.
Yeah.
Taiga Dojo. So, yeah, there are... They both have seals. Artoria, we just don't make it a big deal. So, she just, like, normally acts with so many uncapped. I haven't done it, but apparently it's one of her NP interludes is actually even, like, working to undo the seal to get stronger. So, I think they're both supposed to be the same power. They're literally the same Excalibur, just they look slightly different because different universes.
Yeah. Cosmetic differences.
Yeah.
But...
And it, like I said, I think it's just that for reasons of thematics, they have not made it a big deal in Fate Stay Night. Like, it's more that, like, if Artoria uses Excalibur at all, it's a huge deal. And which is why in Heaven's Feel, it's, supposed to be pretty nuts that Saber Alter is just chucking Excalibur Morgans like it's going out of style.
Saber Alter's deck should just be Excalibur.
I mean, listen, they basically did that meme in reverse for regular Artoria. I'm kind of shocked there hasn't been a Saber Alter buff like that somehow. Like, her Mana Burst now gives her, like, plus 500% NP gain on Buster cards or something, so she can loop her Buster NP. I don't know. I mean, supposedly, Tomovich can, Konoskai of Light can make you Buster loop anyway with the right setup, so, meh.
Carlos, technically, neither does Artoria. It's stuck in a fucking high school kid.
It's true. But that is true that in Fate Stay Night, depending on the context, Avalon can be like Artoria's like, secret trump card. Like that's how Fate works. That's how she defeats Gil, because Avalon beats Anima Elish. But in Unlimited Blade Works, she blows up Anger Manu just because Rin pops 2 command seals.
Yeah.
She's like, I order you, Noble Phantasm, and Saber's like, no, don't make me do that again. No, don't do it. And then she's just like, no, I repeat, I don't care that I'm standing 5 feet away from you. Fucking do it. I hate this guy. Great scene, by the way. Lovely orchestration of Sword of Promise Victory.
Here comes death. So, with that, yeah, I think we've said all we can say about that. Listen, I've seen all 3 Heaven's Field moves. Anger Manu when he's not a giant tentacle blob monster is alright. Anger Manu when he's a giant tentacle blob monster, no, fuck that guy. Alright? I'll say it.
Yeah, the version of Anger Manu, which is the Grail tried to make the wish of him being the ultimate evil come true is bad news.
Yes.
Because it just filled him full of goop energy.
Big goop.
And he become the Black Mud.
But moving on.
Yes.
So thank you very much for that. This next one comes from he who undergoing a chunni phase in his 20s. I feel like I can make a joke here, but it's not coming to me. It's not.
Save your jokes for later.
Anyway, they say, oh, this is like 5 line breaks. Why?
I told you, dog. I warned you about postscripts. I warned you, dog.
You know what? These PSs, they don't exist. Now there's only 2 line breaks, and that is a much more reasonable number.
Sadly, the read more doesn't help you, but just gonna. I mean, there's a double line break there. I don't know why it's double spaced at the bottom one.
They say, hey, Lucky, and Omega Mega, how's the extended downtime treating you? Listen, I'm playing like 5 gacha games. I have like several games. I beat Voice of Cards, actually, finally, and it Yoko Taro'd me. As you do.
I knew it was coming.
Yep. But trust me, I'm kidding. There is no downtime. There's only different gacha games. So, they say, I have had the far luckiest roll in my life in JP, I think 2 SSRs and 1 ticket, but Kabuki came home. 2 SSRs and 1 ticket?
I'm gonna guess that's the
bonus
roll. Yeah, must have been the bonus roll was 2 SSRs.
I mean, I guess
possible.
I suppose, but at the same time, I'm just all like, what? See, what I'm gonna do one day is I'm just going to, next time I get like a pretty fortunate roll, I'm just gonna open up some sort of paint program, and I'm just gonna fucking Photoshop it and be like, oh my god, look at all this.
I mean,
I can't believe this happened.
You should just wait until you roll on an SSR and then screen grab it and then Photoshop it so you get 11 copies actually of the SSR.
Yeah, and I'll be like, oh my, no, I only got to be like 4, but like, I'll be like, this ain't real. This can't be real.
Every other roll is the 5-star.
And be like, this can't happen. This doesn't happen. This doesn't exist. And I'll be completely negative about it, and everyone will be like, oh, congrats, Lucky, whatever. And I'll be like, no, this didn't actually happen. I made it. It's fake. And people will be like, oh. I don't know. Sometimes I'm ornery.
Sometimes we're all ornery.
But they go on to say, and I'm glad that NA got the full screen modo earlier than it should have. I'm always happy for more,
Yeah, I'm glad that they come pretty fast ever since we got, we're basically the same app.
Yeah.
We're the same underlying engine. Line break 1.
Line break 1. My question to you pertains to spooks, of which I've had many, this year. Granted, some of them grind your gears, especially when they show up on a banner you really want a 5-star, but the is a 5-star unless you're a hyper whale. My question is, which is your favorite spook over the course of playing this game? Personally, I'm torn between Tamano no Mai spook that I had during the Space Ishtar banner. I did get Ishtar in later, still good, and Ozymandias during Raiko's banner during Onigaishima. Oh!
Well, okay. I think my most infamous is, when I was rolling for, MHXA, the original time, on the Valentine's banner.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I got my Maeve, because technically all female servants are available on Valentine's, but it wasn't Maeve's raid up day, and I believe I tweeted that with, what sorcery? Because I got an off raid up SSR who is normally story locked on the Valentine's.
Mm-hmm.
Which is technically a spook, because she was not rated up at all. I think it was an MHXA solo day. So it was slightly disappointing, but I still use my Maeve a lot, so...
I'm trying to think. Because unfortunately, I have the problem of I roll entirely way too much, and I get random things all the time.
Thinking, you would have a hard time correlating this, because I assume to you, like, other than you keeping the fucking tally marker for going in, like, achievements, you probably don't usually notice any crazy spooks because you just go, this wasn't the SSR, moving on.
Yeah.
Shovel money in the money hole.
Pretty much.
Fuel the FGO train.
So, yeah, no, unfortunately, I do not have an exact answer for spooks.
It happens.
I can remember my first spook, though, and it wasn't one that I was necessarily upset about, so I'll use this one. So, back during the first Shootin' banner, way back then, that's when I got my first Jack. And that was my first, SSR single target assassin who, I still use when I need to, like, well, I take that back. When I need to kill a woman, that's still my thing. Unfortunately, most other things, I'm just all like, I'm just gonna rub some comma on it.
50% battery covereth a multitude of sins.
Yes. But no, if that person is a woman, they are going to die to my murder daughter. But I think that's the only one I can think of. Because that's the first one sticks with you. You always remember your first.
Also, you always remember when Fion gets you. Fion, why are you on so many rate-ups with cooler, sexier 5-star Lancers?
Don't you know, though? He's Finn McCool, though.
He is the back cool. He is pretty cool, but
Anyway, they go on to say, best of luck during Thanksgiving and your future roles, and hope the Lightworks blesses us with early updates to full-screen MP animations. Cheers!
I think we can officially start the betting pool on will Albert announce that tomorrow, or tonight later when this episode goes public,
We will see.
We'll see.
That's the new SMT one, right?
Yeah, that's Fion and SMT5. Who looks similar, but slightly cooler. The antlers effect is good.
The antlers effect is good, but I like Fion's, I like his vest. I really do, actually. Like, after I got over him constantly fucking, cock blocking me, cock blocking me, I'm like, no, he has a cool design, and I don't hate his personality.
And he's alright. They've done a lot to work on him. He's, much like Scheherazade, Fion is one of those memed characters where, he leaves a little bit of a bad first impression once because he's like, Mash, you're cute. You want to get married? And we're like, my king is just kidding. And then, everybody threw him in the trash can for 5 years. Not actually, more like 2 years. The fact that he infamously came on the same rate up as Bryn.
Yes.
He was not well thought of by the community for a while, but then they actually put him in more. And
his portrayal in Sparrow's Inn, I think helped a lot.
Yeah, Sparrow's Inn was a big one, and I think in general they've been adding him every once in a while as a supporting character and actually giving you, support, and it's good.
Nice.
And also I think the meme of when the APOC anime came out, and it was revealed that he was Darnik's servant in Grail War 3, right?
Yeah.
That also people were like, oh shit, this motherfucker won a Holy Grail War? That helped reverse the meme potential. You heard it here first, people. Only not first, because it was an APOC, but, Finn McCool beats up Nazis.
Ugh. So, thank you for that. We are going to move on.
Yes, you should not have put double line breaks followed by 4 more line breaks. You can write in paragraphs. It's perfectly normal. Saber Fion would be interesting, considering they kind of kitbashed some of his weapon lore into his spear mode. And the dude does have 3 or 4 NPs, so that'd be interesting. Do the same thing they did with Saber Deermud, who's also really cool and neat. Still don't have him.
Yeah, I do think that is one of the few that I still don't have.
I'll get him eventually. I finally got my Valk, last month, so.
Wong. Anyway, this next one comes from a Lost Belt Crusader. Are we talking JoJo reference here? I never know. Stardust, Lost Belt. I can see it.
Yada does it.
I should probably. I'm going to go listen to that at OP now. So, hey guys, long time listener, but first time actually putting something in the mailbag. What would your guys' advice be on balancing multiple gacha games at once? FGO and Genshin Impact are my main games at the moment, but I recently picked up Fantastic Days and Final Gear as well. Obviously, work and whatnot comes first, but first I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on it as well. Oh, actually, Omega, how many gacha games are you playing right now? 2?
2, yeah.
2.
I rotated it back down to 2. I was a 3 or 4 guy for a long time, and then honestly, as much as I supported them with cash, I did the Mary Kondo thing of just spark joy, and eventually Azure Lane and Arknights ceased to spark joy. Arknights is cool, but I felt like it sucked up too much of my time. It wanted me to focus too much on playing it. And even on my phone, it was just I feel like I don't have the time to invest in playing this game well, and I like the characters, but I am constantly depressed and also beat up by the main story. So I just decided to drop it. Azure Lane was... Listen, Azure Lane's got great designs. Its story writing needs a lot to be desired for the most part for several years, and even if they've gotten better, I just kind of got out of it. Also, quite frankly, I'm afraid to open the app because I know that Akashi's gonna guilt me, and I can't handle it. So I'm just gonna leave it closed. I'm just not gonna. I know they do that shit, so I'm just not gonna.
Oh god, it reminds me when I uninstalled Genshin and they just had all the sad creatures waving goodbye. I'm like, no.
Yeah. And I dropped Genshin not long after it came out because it did not super suck me in. It's okay, but again, don't have the time. So I think that kind of lends it to the general point of this discussion, though, which is, you got to find your time management and find what you like about these games. I do think that, for instance, FGO and Genshin scratch different itches, especially because you can play Genshin and probably should play Genshin not on mobile, right?
Right.
You can, but I think that the game is probably better if you play it on a console or your PC. So that kind of that can divide up your work. You might even be able to literally multitask and do multiple things at once, not accounting for, obviously, BlueStacks. So, it's really up to you with, how you want to handle your time. I pared down because I was really into those games, and I was, giving Arknights, $5 a month. I was, shilling out for $20 or $30 lucky bags with, Azure Lane every couple of months. And I was like, okay, am I really getting my money's worth out of these games? So I pared it down. If you're, pure free-to-play, which, if I continue to play Blue Archive, which for the foreseeable future I will remain, that's easier, but if you're spending money, you have to take your budgetary concerns into things as well. I know Lucky has to handle his own juggling on this. But for me, the main thing is time and, what you're getting out of that time. Do you have other things that you need to be doing or would enjoy doing more? And I just personally find myself juggling a lot of projects and personal hobbies, so it was just hard for me to keep up, so I pared down.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with a slightly different vein with this. But I do agree with the first set is, first off, you have to enjoy the game. Where I go from that is because I play... it's me! I play a lot of, gacha games. Right now, I play Azure Lane, Destiny Child, FGO, Blue Archive, and Nier Reincarnation. I put a little bit of time of them to them every day. Now, the reason I'm able to do this is because I understand how their auto system works. All these games, except for FGO, has an auto system, which lets me basically automate some of the process.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, being able to automate some of the process is super fucking key.
Yep.
For example, technically, I only played Destiny Child 15 minutes today. But, guess what? Because of the way that their auto systems, I can literally leave it on all night and it will continue to play itself. And I just have to check on it in the morning when I get up. I literally did that last night. I had enough stamina because they don't cap your stamina. You only naturally regenerate 200, but they just give you stamina just for whatever. And you need it. Here comes death. Goodbye, world. I survived. So I will literally do my daily stuff in the morning, and whenever I need to do my event stuff, I just set it up to what I do. I leave it on, go to night. Guess what? I'm actually, competent at playing Destiny Child. It goes on. Nier Reincarnation, it does not have it does not, let me, go, I think I ran the Destiny Child map, 300 times in the night, or something like that. Nier Reincarnation can't do that. It will only loop up to 10, at once, but I can set that. I had it to set 10, I go do something else among my day. I can do that for other stuff. And, they also has auto battles. Azure Lane didn't used to have, a bunch of, auto features, but they've been slowly implementing them. So usually you can get through Azure, if there's no event going on, you can get through your Azure Lane stuff pretty quick. Same with Blue Archive. They have their sweep system. Literally, you just spend AP, you automatically get things done. It's very nice.
It's almost like several of these games came out after FGO and lots of other games that didn't have auto battles and were like, you know what we need to do to keep the modern populace interested? Make it so they don't have to pay attention to their phones so much. They can go do other stuff.
Exactly, and that's the main thing, is understand how you can spend less time on the game while still doing what you need. I'm gonna tell you right now, when events come out, I'm fucked. I'm fucking fucked.
Yeah, you explode when multiple events run on. It happens. I know that's the crime of the gacha addict. I'm thinking about your like how to do the auto thing. That's very important. Like that was part of how I did. That's why I think I eventually faded out of Arknights, was that you could auto battle, and I was very comfortable doing my annihilation runs and stuff. Mm-hmm. But the problem was to do auto for everything, you have to clear the story chapters normally, and that's usually what tricked me up, because that's when I have to I have to re-engage my brain from auto brain mode to actual brain mode and play the maps, and then I can auto to farm them.
Yeah.
So it's like Arknights doesn't need your attention full time, but when there's new content, it needs your attention for a little bit, and then you can cruise control it. And a lot of times I was just like, Arknights, I don't really have I want to play you in bed while I'm relaxing. I don't have 5 hours to clear all the story and then auto farm it, you know?
Mm.
So that is important, is both obviously getting your investment on return for the time you spend, but I think your point, Lucky, we could say, is knowing how to spend your time in your games effectively.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to say it.
That is probably the best way to, if you're committed to playing multiple games, that's the thing you want to focus on.
Yeah, no, figure out how much time you need to get through just a daily thing. I have a system. I swear to God, I have a system. In the morning, I get up, I grab my phone, Destiny Child's been playing, I stop all that stuff, I finish up my dailies, I then switch over to FGO, I knock out my 100, it's 120 because I only can do 3 runs. I knock out my 3 runs of Ember farming. From there, I go to New Reincarnation, I do the daily stuff I can, I try to get some maps done because I'm super behind in the story, because, Near Reincarnation has finally caught up with all their fucking events, and now they've finally slowed the fuck down. Jesus. So I have, not done, the story at all, so I've been trying to catch up on that. And by this time, this is about the time when I actually make it to work. This is, maybe been, an hour, and I'm already, 3 gacha games done for the day. At this point, I usually pop open Blue Archive and just, fiddle with some things. And, from there, I usually just kind of leave my phone alone until 11, when Blue Archive resets, I do some more stuff. Then I kind of lay off on the gacha game, because here's the thing, you don't want to be playing gacha games all day. You really don't.
No.
It kills you. It really does.
You gotta also to kill your phone.
Yeah, it'll kill your phone. So at that point, I kind of lay off gacha games until I get home. Where I get home, I open up BlueStacks. I pop open Azure Lane. I fiddle around with that and stuff. I leave that running in the background. I usually grab another gacha game that I'm working on for events or something. I pop that on my phone. Something I can still auto, and then I start playing Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, I'll say that my schedule when I was playing 3 or 4 games at once was similar. Usually I would, get up in the morning, I would, boot up myself, I would, start checking Twitter, email, and stuff, and I would pop open BlueStacks and be like, all right, log in Azure Lane, log in Arknights. Do I need to do anything? Okay, and then, tell Arknights to do annihilation runs or whatever I could, farm EXPs.
Right now, I'm not playing Azure Lane because the space that is usually taken up by Azure Lane is taken up by doing the show. I am playing Blue Archive in Final Fantasy 14 right now, though.
Yeah. My current schedule is usually every night at reset, I log into FGO, and then usually...
You can have a new tablet now!
Not at reset, actually, honestly. Just because I make sure to log in every night anyway. I will log in sometime during the night, I will pop up an FGO, I'll get my rewards, I'll double-check the news, I'll probably spend my AP really quick, and then I close that out, and now I'm log into Blue Archive. I'm still clearing early missions to unlock functions because I only play for a couple of hours at night, or not even a couple of hours sometimes.
Oh, so that's Final Gear. Oh, it looks sci-fi.
So I will, I'll play it for a little bit. I'll clear some new missions. I'll unlock some new features. I'll figure that out, and then I'll be like, okay, I've logged in. Go to bed. And also Blue Archive is kind of chaotic right now. They have a lot of closing, sudden maintenance. I'm getting a shitload of God, I completely forgot what the currency's called for some reason.
Just call them gems. That's all I do. I don't fucking care. They're fucking gems. They're gems.
Pyroxenes, gems. They're shelling out shitloads, which I've decided I'm going to save because I have had at least two back-to-back rolls on the current rate up, which were none of them were new, including multiple 2-stars. None of those characters were new, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should relax a little bit. I know they want me to spend me for recruitment points, but damn.
Well, funnily enough, most times they add new characters, except for seasonal ones. All new characters are just added to the direct pool. So if you want a bunny suit or or a swimsuit, you might need to save like for specific rados. But other than that, it's like no, they like when they add the character, they're just in the pool. They just go.
I might stockpile like a few rolls to do it once, just so I don't hit my 12 hundo and open it up and be like, nobody knew. Cool, that was a great experience. I got some free elegies, I guess. But yeah, the key aspect is knowing how to manage your time, and some people aren't going to be able to do what Lucky does, right? Some of them will probably have times where you need your phone for work, so you can't have it like on a gacha game while you're out and about doing your business.
Yep.
Or some people will have some of you people might be on potato PCs. You can't do like the BlueStacks multitasking, which when I was playing multiple games was essential. The ability that I could have like FGO on my phone and then like Azure Lane open, or Girls Frontline when I still play that, open on BlueStacks on my PC, vital. So, some people can't do that, It's rough, but that's what you got to do. And those are the considerations you should take in when you go ahead and, you're playing multiple games and you want to do some stuff.
Did they take Blue Archive off the App Store? I can't find it.
Oh, did they? I mean, it's been chaotic. I don't know. I still got it installed.
I mean, I got it installed too, but like I'm searching on it on the Google Store. Like I'm literally typing Blue Archive, and I'm getting like.
Well, I mean, I googled it and it shows.
Maybe I'll try. Listen, this is a Tab 7. This only came out last year. There's no way that this system is not fucking compatible.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll figure it out.
I just typed it into Google and it's the second result. Blue Archive, Nexon Company. This app is available for all your devices. It's already installed.
I gotta finish setting up my
story kept within the heart. Youth times Academy times military RPG.
I mean, yes.
Yes, but also yes. God, Blue Archive, you're so weird.
But
you have cute
you're still playing it,
so you're fine. Yeah, no, I mean, like it's. Listen, I like it because it's not brain breaking, and like I said, the plot line seems to be like very different than how a lot of gacha games were lately. It's not trying to crush my soul. It's just like, hey, hang out, get yelled at because you passed out from going into a deserted block of the city and not finding a convenience store.
But unfortunately, I think the ultimate thing is you have to find out what works for you. You might not be able to handle doing multiple gacha games. You might not be able to think. And and here's something I will say, don't be afraid to quit.
Yeah. Don't let the sunk cost fallacy get you. That's what they want to happen.
Yeah. Like honestly, like, believe it or not, I've spent thousands of dollars on FGO. Trust me, if like FGO like fucking like close tomorrow, I'll be like, oh well, that's that. And I move on. Like the fact that I spent like thousands of dollars really doesn't stop me from it's not the fact that
It's not. We're not. I mean, I think it's because Lucky, we're not the kind of people who are like, ooh, NFTs, investing, crypto.
Yeah.
Like when we pay for FGO, we are paying for the ephemeral experience. We are supporting ongoing FGO content, and we are trying to acquire current content.
Yes.
So if they're like, well, FGO's done, we're closing up tomorrow. It's like, okay, it's a little sad, but it moves on because we're, that's not why I paid money.
Mm.
Do not treat FGO like an investment. You will not get your fucking money back.
Once you put money into it, it is gone forever.
That money gets turned into PNGs for you and gets turned into, as somebody said in the chat, into manga and anime later.
If like you spend like, and like some cost fallacy is not like just money either. It's like it's time and all that stuff. If like even if the game does not grab you anymore, it just doesn't. Like I said, like trust me, I've picked up and dropped way more gacha games than Omega.
Yes, also a lot of people in our community have. Our gacha games community should have a flavor of the month club because like some games stick. Azure Lane stuck. I think partially because we were playing it you're still playing it. I was playing it for a long time. We had a lot of people that played, but like, that stayed current. But like, Girls Frontline kind of died out, even though that was big for us for a while. But like, Genshin I think has stuck for our community and Arknights.
Yep.
And also weirdly enough, Action Taimanin has a big following in our community. But we also have, like I said, flavors of the month. I think some people have picked up like Ua Musume. I know some people joined you for I've forgotten what was the Yokotaro gacha game before they just did Nier.
Sino Alice.
Sino Alice, yeah. A lot of people were hyped for that, and then it was not super great.
The Madoka Magica one, Iron Saga, Pringcon.
Yeah, I know there's still some people who play Precon, but like they weren't. that was like when that game dropped. That was what everybody was talking about, etc. And then kind of like it slowed down. Same for like Iron Saga. Like everybody was like they all jumped into it because Mecha Gacha, and then it was just kind of it's all right, move on.
Yep.
I think we've got some people who tried to Musume. Madoka fucking shut down over here.
Yeah.
I know some people who they don't talk about it a lot, but some people still go to bat for like Honkai 3rd. There's when you start a community where your main in is people watch your gacha podcast and hear you talk about other gacha games and slide on in. We have a lot of people who are well versed in the genre and actually work through this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we know about a lot of these things that come out, and there's even more. People recommend stuff all the time.
I think I might give Revived Witch another go. I just won't
go ham.
Yeah,
I'm still very tempted to try the. A lot of people say it's a little simplistic, but I keep getting ads for the Konosuba Gacha game, and I'm like, man, I like Konosuba. I could play a little Konosuba game. Who knows? But also, I have a new JRPG to spend 80 million hours in, so
it is gonna be 80 million hours. I swear to fucking God.
Oh, it will. It's gonna be 3 months of real time, Lucky. If you don't get that, wait until What's Up when we talk about Estrella Ascending.
There's a lot of threes involved here.
Yes, God. Lucky, I assume you are Japanese audio English text?
Yes.
Like our cultured individual? Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Man, we spent a lot of time on this one. But Gacha Games goes deep. When you ask us questions that are FGO adjacent, but we can suck in our whole breadth of experience in, we can get pretty deep on it there. What's the mission clock at? Wow, hour and a half. Okay.
We're fine.
We're fine in time terms, but it is a little later than I thought. How many of these we got left? Only like half a dozen, I think. Okay. Doing all right. Hopefully, Sir or Madam Lost Boat Crusader, you have found some useful advice somewhere in there.
I read this one earlier and thought I was going to give some poignant advice, and then I'm like, nope, I'm just a-going.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's poignant advice, and then there's just, no, listen, we play lots of... Lucky plays shitloads of games. I have tried a decent number of games. You gotta find what works for you for time. And even if a game is good, doesn't necessarily mean it's in their time. Guys, you know how many, triple budget $60 games I've put, 10 or 20 hours in and gone, I'll come back later. And sometimes I don't come back later. Just because a game is really good and well made doesn't mean that it grabs you all the time, right? There's a lot of mood involved in stuff. And if you want to play multiple games well, if you want to do multiple projects well, period, you need to know about marshaling your energy, working out a schedule that works for you, and learning to stick to your schedule. That's just basic time management shit, and that applies to hobbies as well.
Yeah, they're bringing up gacha games like Blue Archive, but not Blue Archive. God damn it,
that's really weird.
Yeah, when
I go on your PC and your Google account and be like, Google, does this not work with my thing?
Yeah, I think I will a little bit, but
well, the FG Arcade thing is weird because I don't know if we ever talked about that actually. Somebody got a hold of the source code, but it's apparently got server side shit, so you can't just log into an emulation of the machine on your PC yet. But apparently people have access to the code. I would seriously wonder if it was pirated and translation patched, if that would lead to Lightworks to go, oh wait, fuck, there's a market for this. Because I hope Lightworks knows there's a market for this over here, but
it's not available on my tablets at all.
Weird. I know some FGO is not incompatible with tablets, but it's sketchy about them. So maybe Blue Archive isn't rendered for tablets. That's kind of weird, but not unheard of.
That's not the worst.
Maybe find some other games.
Yeah, I can put some other stuff on there. Actually, can I put Revived Witch on here? That'd be fun.
Okay.
Sorry, it's this. It was bugging me.
Yeah, no, I know.
Let me see.
Yep, literally half left. Well, Lucky has secured that. We shall move on to the next one.
Oh, okay, I can just install it on my tablet. I shall. Install it!
Sorry, I mean, I don't mean to, distract us double again, but, so, the Netflix, live-action Cowboy Bebop is out, and I have not watched it yet because I'm not, super invested in that. But, I'm seeing a lot of, people talking about it, the quality is still, YouTube fan film, not high-budget Netflix TV show, and I'm like, oof. At least that probably means that there's heart in it, but, damn.
Mm-hmm.
A little disappointing. Oh, scratch my ear. Okay.
Oh, okay. So, sorry about that. Getting down the hole, as usual. The Faffa Jaffa. So, this is, we're gonna move on. So, the next one comes from Alias Zed, just Zed, who says, Record from the Thrones, Himiko and Ibuki Doji Smiles Protected, detaining myself and Anastasia Spook, Izo, finally, and Izumo No Okuni. Comment, hey, Lucky Mega, hope the two of you are doing well. Hope you're doing well, and if you aren't doing well, that you get through it as painlessly as possible. We will manage. Question. Been a while since I've asked a question, so I keep it simple, in order of least to most favorite. This is not simple already.
No, I don't like this. No. Hold on, wait a minute. What's going on here? This is a fucking list.
Listen. If I have to think for more than 30 seconds and I have to put something in an order, this is not simple.
This actually could have used line breaks. If you'd made this bulleted, this would be a lot easier. Otherwise, you have a long form list with commas, not that kind of comma. Yeah.
Wait,
no, that would probably didn't work.
In order of least to most. So you want me to take every single one of these and put them in order? How many entries do you got here? The choice pool we have. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You want me to take a list of 7, put it in order. Think about this, put it in order, and read it aloud to you online. Really.
Also, I have PTSD about this because of Pole Mine, which was the game Lucky did not play. No, Axid is not content. It would be very boring. Because I'm going to be real. I'm not going to flex my brain and have interesting commentary while we build this list. I'm just going to be like, I don't know, I don't even want to say no. I can't even fake say numbers because that would be like expressing an opinion I don't want to express. I just I don't know.
Also, my favorite Nobu aesthetic's not even on this fucking list. My favorite Nobu aesthetic is the Imperial Capital Nobu. The one that looks very fucking vicious, has the gun over her shoulder. That's my favorite aesthetic.
There's several different Nobu sprites. We still don't have those.
So, this premise is flawed. You have given me your list.
Mao. That should be 7. I counted with my fingers.
Yeah, no, so you've given me your list and not the actual full list, you
Boom.
Animal.
Dunked on. I hope you have a good day, sir.
Yeah, because they've been... We out.
Good day.
Moving on.
I say good day.
I said good day! So this next one comes from feeling good about beating up a rough draft. Why'd you beat up a rough draft? What did it do to you? Justice for rough draft.
Rough.
I guess.
It's a rowdy draft.
Rowdy draft. Hey guys, just here to give out well wishes to both of you. Same to you. Be nice to your rough draft, though. They're just misunderstood.
Someday we're going to get webcams for this, and you people are going to see when just, we do well wishes, and I just do, a little weird thumbs up dance, because I don't have anything to say. We take your well wishes, thumbs up, we move on.
We move on. Next one comes from No Mao Buff. I am Saj. Hello there, Nobu Enjoyer and Lucky and Kabuki Master Omega. Excuse me, I am the Kabuki Master here. How dare. Yo. Listen, I actually do that pose in real life. I just, do the thing, I crane my neck, I'm just it's
yeah,
great.
I don't think I do the Kabuki pose.
I'd love the Kabuki pose.
I can do the yo, though.
Anyway, as for me, it's been going alright. I did a whatever roll, on story and got pinned. Good thing Achilles isn't around here. I gotta say, widescreen FGO is one hell of a drug, and I implore everyone to try it. I also find it funny that Izo now has more costumes than 90% of the servants. As a proud old owner of a grilled Izu, I of course love to see it. Actually, you say that, I don't think it's that weird. Izo is surprisingly popular.
It's very popular. People love him.
Yeah.
And Paco loves to draw him.
Mm-hmm. Now, question, someone might have answered this already, but I wonder if they added 3 new command spells that you could swap, what kind of abilities would you want those command skills to have? Personally, I find the ability to choose a servant from your setup and yeet them for one that's currently set as your favorite servant. That keep up a whole new way to play teams in FGO, at least in my opinion. Anyway, stay safe, stay comfy, and importantly, keep enjoying the game. Bye-bye. I do think that is something I have not heard before, actually using command skill to summon your favorite servant.
Yeah, as they were listing out before they did that example, I was literally thinking, well, I think the one thing our command skills do that we know command spells do that is summon forth your servant, and then he's like, hey, swap a servant. I'm like, yeah, no, that's what I was thinking, yeah. I didn't necessarily think about favorite, but I guess that would be the way to set it, right?
I think it'd be good. It actually gave a weight to favorite servant.
Yeah, besides just, my room lines, which you can random.
I mean, that's a power move. It's like my have that ability. But
the power of my command seal, I summon forth
someone.
My level 1 George. What?
Let's go for it.
Explodes.
Make it work.
Yeah, but that I think is one of the things that command spells are known to do that the game doesn't reference at all. Is, actually conjuring forth your servants. Because, full heal is like, I order you to not die. Noble Phantasm is, I order you to use your Noble Phantasm. I think it might be interesting if you could, because I know skills have cooldowns, and obviously, like, using command seal, they're a limited resource. It might be interesting if you could spend a command seal to remove all cooldowns on a servant. Because that obviously that's broken, kind of, but also so is 3 seals to just do a quest again sometimes.
Yeah.
So spending 1 to do that would be fair, I think, to just be like, hey, you, use your skills again. I can't think of a third one, though.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Oh, nah, I can't think of anything.
This sounds like something we should tell the audience to give your ideas for alternate command spell uses down in the comments below. Engagement. Yes.
Yes. Exciting.
Engagement. Hey, Dan, what kind of car do I drive? No. We can only steal so much Game Grunts content. Missed.
Hang on 1 second.
Like he's hanging on. I'm scratching my nose again.
Mm-hmm.
I think this temperature shifting back and forth between kind of warm and kind of cold is irritating something in nature.
It's something. It's
cheap.
So, let's see how many we got left. We got 3 left.
Yep.
Alright, so we're going to move on. Thank you very much.
This next one, 45.
Hey. So this next one comes from Moon is facing off against midterms once more. She recently had her classic flashback power-up. Will it be enough to defeat this familiar foe? Find out next time on the Adventures of Moon stumbling her way to... Moon, I just realized this is all one thing. Where's your line break?
You did not do a line break, and it's slightly confusing.
Yeah, it's not line break. I'm sorry. It's like I have a precedence. This is not an alias. There is not an alias. There is not a question. I'm sorry, but no, this one gets yeeted as well. Yeesh.
Which is hilarious, because there wasn't a question, and there's just a comment about how the alias is longer.
Yeah, I know, but... No.
It's ironic.
Alright, so moving on. This next one comes from Tatara King planning his Thanksgiving with his new Kabuki servant and her robot with a suspiciously familiar, mafia-like voice. Hey, Oracle Lucky and Supercomputer Omega, send me follow-up to my Black Friday question. What is your favorite side dish for Thanksgiving? Are you more of a dessert guys and will be eating a slice of apple/pecan pie? Take care and have a nice evening and a bountiful Thanksgiving feast.
First of all, how dare you? Pumpkin is not mentioned at all. How dare you?
I know, right?
I
have a pumpkin pie right now. There's like cans of whipped cream just on standby.
And there's going to be, well, for me anyway, I don't know about your household, but for me, there's definitely leftover whipped cream. That's going in my hot chocolate.
Ooh, I haven't thought about that.
It's really good if you got the Ready Whip, just right in the top. It's great.
Now, unfortunately for your Thanksgiving question, I can't really necessarily say a side dish because, like I said, Lucky cooks. I'm pretty sure I've told that story how I can cook a full Thanksgiving feast on my own. I know I've told it.
Yes.
Somewhere. So I won't. I'm somewhere, but so I always just make all the things I fucking love, and I don't make the things I don't like. So that's why, like, usually when I have Thanksgiving, I have a ham, I have mashed potatoes, I get sweet potatoes and marshmallows. I get collard greens, I get green bean casserole, I make cornbread muffins, I usually buy Hawaiian rolls because I don't know how the fuck they make Hawaiian rolls, they just exist. I just look at them and be like, how? I usually make some sort of chocolate fudge pie, and I usually buy a pumpkin pie. Listen, I can make a pumpkin pie, but it's too easy. You just get a pie crust, you go, here's a can of pumpkin pie filling, and you put it in there, I'm like, great. No, I'm just gonna have someone else do this for me. Fuck. And I haven't had a pecan pie in a while, but pecan pies have gotten really sweet for me recently. I don't know why. It might just be about changing taste buds. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty basic. My strongest things are the turkey and the rolls. But
rolls.
Bread is one of those things that I really, really enjoy. A good bread. Wide varieties of bread too. And y'all should know by now. I've never been super keen on the vegetables. I just never really picked up a taste for it. I'm more of a fruits guy. Are there any traditional? Okay, so there's the definition of fruit is weird, but are there any really I guess the cranberry sauce, but I'm not really keen on cranberry. Don't even know.
Yes, I can.
Somebody has sent me from scratch biscuits. Biscuit. Reminds me, it was, was it last year's Thanksgiving? I think it was. That was, no, it wouldn't have been, because we were in lockdown. That's right. That's because, that's why I don't remember it. It was 2 Thanksgivings ago was the Thanksgiving where I had my temporary crown in. They hadn't got the permanent one, or possibly it was after the first permanent one came and it didn't fit my fucking tooth and we had to order a new one. Dentistry is fun, guys. Take care of your teeth. That one had to be a careful one because one of the foods I was warned about on the temp crown was bread because it's starchy and sticky. And you don't want to pop the temporary crown out. That's very bad. Don't do that. I luckily did not, but it was made for some awkward chewing. Also, the person who said that pecan and apple is their favorite, I understand. Your apologies accepted. My father loves pecans in general.
Like, I'm not gonna say pecans and apple pies are bad. I love them too. It's just pumpkin pie is just on a level above it.
I mean, yeah, no. I mean, I like apple pie. I do not associate that with Thanksgiving, but I love a good apple pie. Like I said, I'm a fruit guy. Apple's good. Honestly, if it weren't such a pain in the ass to keep everything around here, I would go for fresh apples probably. But this is Florida, and everything's humid as fuck, like 90% of the year, so it's hard to keep fruit out. And a lot of fruits don't do well in refrigerators. But we have one last one.
We have one last one. So, we move on to the last one. Bunny Girl versus Bunny All... Why do you do this? Why'd you do this? I feel like I need to keep this one on principle.
And I mean, they don't even have a question. Also, neither of us has Ivan, so we can't even respond to this comment.
Alright, so I will just do this. Bunny Girl versus Bunny Artoria. Battle of who is best bunny wife, who starts at 12 a.m. on HBO.
Red Barker.
Hey guys, I don't have a question that needs an answer this week. Enjoy the times out before Christmas Lotto starts. Ivan's interlude did make me laugh a bit at the name of the interlude title. I said I don't have it, so
I'll take your word for it.
Yep. And that is Mailbag, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.
All right, we've crossed an hour and 50 minutes. Let's take a short intermission.
Yay!
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. And I really hope this isn't copyrighted. All right, we're back. Lucky's got pie.
Uh-huh.
And that was the sound of Lucky has pie in his mouth. We have fun here.
Join our Discord. Join our Patreon and our Discord so you can see exactly how much whipped cream I put on this pie.
Yes. And I should note, that's at any level you get access to our Patreon channel on Discord. If you want to listen to the show live, that's our gold tier or higher. But you can just preview the actual Discord chat for just $1. And you can see this image that Lucky posted. Okay, don't bright flashing lights. 10:30 at night. It's too late for that. But now, what is not too late for is new servant deets. New servants happening. There you go. That's a much more normal heavy breathing gif. Start your heavy breathing. It's time for new servants. So we're going to talk about our first Welfare Avenger, Mysterious Ranmaru X, aka Mori-Ranmaru. So this is a bit of a weird one. I've compiled my knowledge on this, which I've iterated several times before, but I'll refresh you. This is kind of a little weird. She is Mysterious Ranmaru X because this is the Servant Universe version from Planet Ranmaru and has the power of all Ranmarus, just like Jet Li's the One. So it's kind of a gender flip, but kind of not, because this Ranmaru is many Ranmaru. And also, I brought this up a couple of times in the pre-show. Mori Ranmaru is often depicted as a soft boy or a woman in Japan. I posted the character model from Samurai Warriors, which I had to double check on the Koei wiki, which is 50 million pages long.
I am 150% sure this is because in a lot of post-Sengoku literature, they really gayed up Nobu.
Yes, they went there with the Nanshoku. By historical accounts, Mori Ranmaru was one of Nobunaga's most famous retainers, and for his loyalty was rewarded monetarily heavily. But also Mori Ranmaru is very famous for, in history, being there at the battle at Honnoji Temple, and allegedly being Nobunaga's second when Nobunaga committed seppuku. And then they burned the temple down, so Mitsuhide couldn't get the body. I also want to throw out there, with the inclusion of Ranmaru, apparently we've actually gotten some info on the historical Hinnoji time period, and FGO has its first official mention of Yasuke.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, this was brought up in spoiler chat, but apparently there's an actual flashback to the event, and Nobu calls on Ranmaru, and Ranmaru's like, we don't want to give up yet. Yasuke-san is still fighting outside. We're still fighting, and Nobu's like, nah, fam, temple's already on fire. We're done here.
Oh yes, give me Yasuke. Give me Yasuke. Give.
Which also, by the way, speaking of potential playable servants, that's about as much mention as Mori Ranmaru got in previous GUDAGUDAs. It's not like Ranmaru appeared, it's just Nagayoshi was like, hello, yes, I am Mori. I am Nagayoshi of Clan Mori. You may have heard of my younger, cuter brother. And yes, in Nanshoku literature, they were big on the gay.
Big gay.
So, yeah, it's not surprising. I do also like that they do the thematic callbacks to Nagayoshi.
Mm-hmm.
They both have the shark teeth, even though one of them's from a different universe, allegedly. And also, apparently, Mori has a blood-spattered face sprite. That works. They also have an eye patch. They're hiding an eye behind it. A lovely, lovely eye, I guess. We'll get there when I talk about skills. Also, being another first, Ranmaru is our first lawful good Avenger, interestingly enough. The power of space. But this may actually fuck up some of your bonuses and malices if you're not careful. So Usually Avengers are chaotic evil, though occasionally you've got some, I think, neutrals or lawfuls in there. So, it's very funny. We have 2 other 4-star Avengers to compare them to, and so Ranmaru has the lowest attack, but the highest HP, only just. I think Ranmaru has like 100 more HP than Gorgon, and like 200 or 300 less than Lobo. It's a very tight grouping with Avengers. So, quick Arts Buster deck with, honestly, pretty low hit counts in NP gain. We're talking 0.45 NP gain with a 2-hit Arts card. So there's a little bit of shenaniganery there. If you actually want to charge NP on Ranmaru, you should pay attention to the fact that their quick card has 4 hits and their extra attack is 5 hits. Plus some other stuff going on with Avenger bits. So there's a little bit of caution in this design. You'll see as we go through it. So our NP is a single target Arts which ignores defense and increases star generation for self by 1 turn first based on overcharge. So very simple. You pick an enemy, you say, that man dies, and you do a couple of hits of Arts to them. And then you get crit gen up. I'm not sure how that works with an Arts leading NP, but yeah. You know, it's plus 100% star gen. It's like Kazgil's buff. You'll generate stars on that Arts card. So our first skill is targetable on an ally. It clears that ally's debuffs, it ups their star absorb, and gives them 32% crit up for 1 turn. This is a targetable debuff clear on a Welfare. That's great. Is it AoE? I thought it was ST. Is it defense piercing damage to all targets or 1 target? I sometimes get this wrong because the way the wiki phrases this is often confusing. It is loaded. Oh, okay. Deals damage that ignores debuffs to all enemies. Okay. I mean, that means you get more hits. That's still... I gotta be real, I'm not enthused about this NP. I feel like Ranmaru was designed like 5 years ago and they've only just decided to release her.
Maybe.
I mean, listen, 2 hits Arts card with 0.45% NP gain. I'm like, this is a little weird, guys. Okay, so it's an AoE Arts. Yes, this is the thing about the missing head. I didn't know if we wanted to get into that, but yeah, Ranmaru was supposed to have fled with Nobunaga's head, so you couldn't identify the body. So again, Mitsuhide couldn't get any credit.
Yep.
This is presumably why she is the Welfare and why Nobu's head is missing, probably. Well, yeah, so you get the Avenger skill, but it's not like she has any taunts or anything, so it's, like I said, it's a little weird. It's a weird kit. Let me move through. So, taking that in mind, that correction, it is AoE Arts. It's only 4 hits. It's not super deep. They may have done this a little conservative because Castoria exists. I don't know. We've talked about how before about, like, a lot of times their design is just actually, like, depend on the servant's, like, actual tier level, while Ranmaru is a 4-star. Ranmaru is kind of famous, but should not be a powerful servant in their own right. Like, I would actually say pan-human history, Ranmaru would probably be like a 1 or 2 star. Kind of like Nobukatsu, right? But, because space. You get space power. Space. So, I don't know. But that first skill has that targetable debuff clear. That's pretty cool. It also ups their star absorb, and like I said, gives them crit up for 1 turn. The second skill is a flat 40% charm chance to all enemies. This is the, you know, look at my eye. Isn't my eye cool? Yeah, skill. Gives enemies 10 to 20% def down for... I did not write that in my notes, but I luckily have this open to check. So that's for 3 turns. That's what I expected. And also gives you 10 stars. Final skill is 20 to 30% arts up on self for 3 turns, 10 to 20% battery. You tried, you know, award. And is also 10 stars. So technically, you've got 20 stars between 2 skills. 20% battery does mean, you know, K-scopes, right? You can use a vanilla K-scope, not MLB, to immediately go into an AoE blast. This is presumably a free NP5, so you're looking at some decently high base damage. Avengers do neutral damage. And because you're an Avenger, you have the wild passives. So you've got the normal Avenger C, so your passive NP game when you get hit is super high. You have Oblivion Correction E for just 2% native crit up. Again, a little conservative, but I guess this makes sense. You have a perfectly normal magic resistance C for a little bit of debuff resistance. And then you've also got, because space, this is, by the way, when I started asking questions, you've got existence outside the domain D for that slight debuff resistance as well. So you've got, like, 19% debuff resistance total. And 2 stars per turn, because space. Did you get it? She's from space. You also have 2 unique passives. You have Ranmanium EX, which gives you plus 3% arts effectiveness, and also 3% gauge per turn. So, no self-replenishment mana, but does have a battery per turn skill passive, you know? And then the last one is Affection of the Demon King, which makes Ranmaru immune to burn. You cannot burn Ranmaru. Nope. It's very funny. So, as I said before, Ranmaru's design seems to be a little bit conservative for an arts crit welfare, and for an Avenger. Like, Avengers are usually like, holy shit, busted. I do not know if this is like, holy shit, busted, but we exist in a post-Castoria meta, she will be fine. Like, these skills are, like, nothing crazy, but they're good, you know? Defense down, gain up to 20 critical stars, 20% battery. You've got an NP steroid. You can, do star absorption, you can increase critical damage, you've got passives for very slight critical up, very slight star gen up, so, yeah, we'll see overall, like, how people feel. I mean, like, I think the animations and stuff are really neat, and the fucking sprite, you know, you're on the, like, she, like, rides in on the Super Ranmaru blade or whatever, which is huge. It also shoots out smaller swords like missiles. Like, the animations are fun, I'm sure, you know, she'll be a great character. In case you couldn't tell, the artist is, Mika Picasso. That's also Sei's artist.
Yep.
So, you know, doing some interesting, you know, switch hits here. I don't think, you know, again, not the craziest, but this is a Welfare Avenger. Lobo is permanent, but he's not always frequently rated up, and Gorgon is story locked. So, you know, considering you just might straight up not have a 4-star Avenger, this is a decent addition. We've been talking about getting a 4-star Welfare Avenger for a while. So Ranmaru is obviously good there. I think she's a fun character. They're doing, you know, their usual fun things. Like I said, I think the skill design and the NP design is a little conservative, but, I mean, you know, 20% battery on an AoE servant who's a free NP5, you probably won't go wrong for farming. She's got plus 100% damage in the event, I think. Or plus 100% drops, I don't know, I didn't look at it. She's a bonus servant, it's cool. On the question of, is GUDAGUDA just in the servant universe now? No, but we might be looking at a backdoor Saber Wars 3. Also, yes, I mentioned that earlier in news. The map looks like Final Fantasy VII, so... We're doing interesting things. I'm assuming it's related to the Great Mystery, because GUDAGUDA has a habit of calling servants from all over the fucking place. Remember the last one we just did, which was just Nobunaga's ambition? And how there were 50 Nobunagas?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably that kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
I think there are actually multiple Ryomas. Like, because I think normal Ryoma is the shopkeeper again, and then the new design that Paco drew is like an enemy type. Or could be an ally type and you just fight him. I swear to God, I feel like FGO built its events like specifically to like taunt leakers and future viewers, where they like make you fight allies as enemies just so they can, you know, get the most out of their assets or whatever. But yeah, Ranmaru. Fun times. And like I said, this is an interesting kind of niche. Some people are saying the damage output is similar to a Space Ishtar NP1. That's probably okay. Again, Space Ishtar is limited, so I think Ranmaru is a good slot. I will be ready for this Welfare. I do not think that mechanically she's like doing anything crazy, but it's fine. Now you want to talk about units doing anything crazy? Okay, let's move on. I think we can move on from Ranmaru.
Yeah.
Unless you guys want more anecdotes. Though actually before though, I want to throw out with you guys do the appropriate list of the So Ranmaru's height is listed as 155 centimeters. So, for comparison to normal Nobu, that's, you know, a few cm taller, same weight.
Interesting.
But compared to Nagayoshi, well-known huge man.
Huge man? Yeah.
Yeah. Mori Nagayoshi is listed in his profile as 194 centimeters.
Oh.
So, yes, if you put the two of them next to each other, you know, it's a very significant difference.
Yeah.
He is a large lad, so it's very funny. I would not be surprised if there is not a pretender in this event, but I will say that because I did not talk about this in the notes, but I can mention it now. Izumo no Okuni has probably currently the most unfortunate append skill for extra class damage. Because hers is, I believe, I will double check, but I believe it's Pretenders.
Well, that probably means that they're going to be putting more out there soon.
Yes, anti-Pretender attack damage, increases attack versus Pretenders. So, yeah. That's a weird one. So, watch out, guys. They would not give a brand new limited SSR a dead skill if they could help it. So, let's talk about Izumo no Okuni, though. Literally, Okuni from Izumo Province, because this is, you know, old school Japan. Not everybody has surnames. And in fact, we talked about this with Lady Murasaki. Not a lot of women have surnames during certain historical periods.
Mm-hmm.
So, Okuni from Izumo Province, which is part of her epithet now. She's here to break some records. So, she's a new SSR caster. She's the progenitor of the Kabuki style. Her giant dance partner is, as we joked before, voiced by Mafia Kajita, often seen as MC on the streams. That's pretty fun.
The man, the legend, the leather.
Yes. And now, guys, sit the fuck down. Okuni is a caster with a deck that is QUICC, Arts, Buster. You read that right. You heard that correctly. That is one Arts card. And what type is her NP, Lucky? It's QUICC.
Yeah.
So, breaking multiple records. This is a caster with one Arts card and a fucking QUICC NP, finally. Holy shit. They've been putting some thought into this, too. So, let's run down through some stat facts and some builds before we talk about some fun trivia. I'm sure Lucky has a few things tucked under his cap. Also in terms of stat spread, she has the same attack value as Murasaki, who is currently number 2 for caster attack, and she has the same HP value as Sanzo, who is more attack but also more HP than Murasaki. So, not a bad stat spread. Because of her deck, her NP gain is quite high. She has a 0.8 NP gain, which is, I mean, she's got one single Arts card, but she has 2 QUICC cards, so that's like freaky good. Especially when you factor in her NP, which is single target QUICC, has 10 hits. So this is a very high tier unit. Her NP is single target QUICC. It reduces the target's QUICC resistance by a flat 20% first, and then it does bonus damage with overcharge to demonic enemies. Because in Japan, demons hate the fine arts.
I mean, she also was a fucking shrine maiden.
Yeah, but, you know, her NP is... What's the actual name here? Yes. Okuni Repertoire Kabuki of the Izumo Wild God. So, you know, I'm going to guess it's a divine play, but it's, you know, or dance. But it's still supposed to be part of the Kabuki theater thing. But it's the same with, like, Murasaki, right? Like, her Noble Phantasms are she has the anti-demonic skill because she's, you know, on a list of poets who are said to be so cool and so poetic that a demon would cry with a single poem or something. So, anti-demonic single target NP. Her first skill is a 20 to 30% quick and buster up for 3 turns, pretty typical for dual card servants. Oh yeah, and it gives her 2 hits, 3 turns of evade. Hard defense.
Yay, dodge.
Yeah, caster with hard defenses.
Mm.
Second skill is a 1-turn star absorb up, 1-turn 50-100% crit up, and adds a 1-turn on-hit debuff to give the target 10% defense down for 3 turns. This is a crit caster, and it's really weird, and I love it. And then her final skill, this is tied to her Miko-ness, gives an ally of choice skill cooldown 1, speeds up their skill cooldown by 1, and is also a 30 to 50% self-battery, and gives her 15 stars. This is great.
So she can literally generate stars, slurp up her own stars, and then smack really hard.
Yes, and generate a shitload more stars. Oh yeah, and she's got a 30%, you got 30% dual card types, you know, so NP steroid. And, you know, that's a targetable skill cooldown, so you can do it to yourself.
Yeah, that slaps.
Yeah, no. Also, I believe this establishes a canon that Miko powers give you skill cooldown, because, you know, that's also, or at least Japanese mysticism powers, because, you know, Tama has a skill cooldown as well. But let me see, this is that's a 7-turn on that one, but that's, that's... Okay, so her evade has a pretty high skill cooldown. That's 7 turns as well, so you might want to need to do that skill cooldown on yourself for those MP steroids, but otherwise, yeah. Now into passives. So first of all of her passives are alternates. They all give her 4% critical damage up for a total of 12% passive crit up. She has a territory creation that only gives her 4% arts, but has the crit. Item creation, which gives her 4% debuff rate. And then has a passive, which gives her another 4% crit damage, and generates 2 stars per turn. So, like Space People, she generates 2 stars per turn for free as well. So, yeah. Holy shit. This is a legit boss-killing caster with a quick buster focus. This is a quick crit into buster servant. Like, literally, it's like, boss, oh, you have a break bar? Let me drop my, quick, my NPQQ chain with my multi-turn steroid. I'm going to generate a shitload of stars, and then let me follow it up with, oh, your bar's broken? Cool, I'm going to do double buster crit turns now. Bye. You're dead. I suck up all my own stars. I give me plus 100% crit damage. And if you do it as a change, that is also her on-hit debuff for 10% defense down. You're dead. You're fucking dead, son. Combine her with, your choice, Scotty or Merlin. Probably Scotty or Waver, actually, because they have the 50% battery, and she has 50% of her own battery, so you can stick whatever fucking CE you want on there. But, you're gonna straight up get probably 2 breakbar killing turns in a row. No. Okuni's design slaps. Show her a demonic assassin or berserker, of which there are several. She will clean house.
So,
If you want to share with some people a little bit of the fun Okuni facts.
Well, yeah, I guess I can share a little bit. So, like I said, I called out Izumo No Okuni basically the day of the stream. Like before I went to bed, I literally went into Discord and I was all like, "Hey y'all, here's my Hail Mary. It's gonna be fucking Okuni," and I gave a little bit of the reason why. So Okuni is basically known as the creator of the Kabuki theater style, which is very well known for its over-exaggerated costumes and whatnot. Like, trust me, you've watched some anime, you've seen some Kabuki. You've seen it.
Yes. In English terms, Kabuki is a very hammy art style.
Yes.
Big costumes, big acting.
Oh yeah.
And it's dance theater as well, which is why it's important that Okuni, because she was a dancer.
Mm-hmm. Performed at Kagura. So
for patrons, I'm going to post a historical portrait of Okuni. Oh, you got a Kabuki gif. Yes, correct. That is the Kabuki. You know Kabuki because that's the white face paint, long red hair. That's a stock Kabuki character. But I have posted a historical portrait of Okuni.
Yes. So Kabuki. Oh, I can't remember what it mean. It basically meant something weird.
In the terms of Kabuki Mono, it's usually translated as like strange thing or weird thing.
Yeah, I was about to say it's weird, strange or weird. Because this is my next point.
I think the people mostly say Kabuki is from the verb kabuku, meaning to lean or to be out of ordinary. So
yeah,
you could also, I think, a generous translation would be, it's basically like the Japanese equivalent of avant-garde.
Yeah. And Omega mentions Kabuki Mono. Kabuki Mono is very avant-garde. Kabuki Mono is basically historical Japan's delinquent scene. Basically, a bunch of young guys would dress up ridiculously with like fancy patterns. They put like weird metal plates on. They like have strange hairstyles. They talk super fucking weird. And they usually be up to no good. This is actually one of the stories of people, cutting peasants to test their swords come from. Not the greatest look, but like I said, they were very visually stimulating, I want to say. But it said that Okuni looked at that style and, incorporated it into a dance and theater. And originally, this was actually very interesting. This image of Okuni is actually dressed as a guy because her original dance troupe was an all-female dance troupe. And so they would actually have to dress up as guys for the male versions. This is something that actually persists even later, because after Okuni died, it wasn't that long. I think it was only a couple decades.
I'm on Wikipedia right now on like the history. So Okuni started this style roughly around 1603. And when she was believed to be a Miko at the Izumo Taisha, by the way, Izumo Shrine, the big one.
Yeah, the big one.
She began to perform with female dancers, the dance drama, just out there, and it became very popular. But also, by the way, fun fact: the original style of Kabuki that not necessarily directly Okuni style, but the general style was very horny on main, and eventually, because they were all female, some of the dance troupe members doubled as prostitutes, so it was very popular in red light districts.
Oh yeah.
So the shogunate did not think it was cool because it was super horny. And then basically during the period of after she died in like I think around the 1620s, for like a transitional period of over the next 50-ish years, that's when the transition to the male Kabuki happened before being like locked in the late 1600s. So yeah, it was a transitional period where slowly the female dance troupes were taken over and replaced by the male roles.
But interestingly enough, it just wasn't inverse. But now you just have guys having to dress up as women constantly, and it was interesting times. But the reason why this
the female role.
But this is interesting because, like we said, Kabuki comes from, most likely, it's not been proven, but it's believed to come from Kabuki monos. You want to know who two famous Kabuki mono characters were? One, Oda Nobunaga, and his best mate, Maeda Toshie.
Yeah.
That's
why Nobu was called the Fool of Owari.
Yep.
Because he was a young punk.
So, a little bit of a history lesson there. Again, this is why, I was deep in the research hole because, trust me, I am still thinking about Wanted Nobu.
Yeah.
It's there. Trust me. But, pulling this out, I was all like, this seems just related enough, but not directly related enough that they would try to fucking pull this over on you. Oh man, lo and behold, I was right. Praise me, everyone. I want comments filled with praise be to ye, Lucky. Give. Let's see. Is there anything interesting things I know? I remember something about a river, but I can't. I think
that's part of the alleged history that Okuni did the first plays on a makeshift stage in. Hold on. Sorry, I had to sneeze. On the dry bed of the Kamo River. In the Kyoto area. Yeah.
No,
But actually, and I should also point out, I talked about how it was a very horny, rowdy play style. That stayed even when they transitioned to all male.
Oh yeah.
So Kabuki is not only is it infamously over the top, but it is meant to be a rowdy crowd pleasing art.
Well, that's the thing. That's the difference between I can't pronounce it. No theater and Kabuki theater. No theater is supposed to be for more high-born and sophisticated. Kabuki theater is just for your common everyday man who just wants to see something horny and laugh at raunchy shit.
And then Bunraku is for tryhards. Puppet theater.
Yeah. It's with the artsy ones. I'm really?
I mean, I joke. It's clearly the more technical one because it's, the puppet setup.
Mm-hmm.
But, we basically have modern Bunraku with Thunderbolt Fantasy.
It's good shit.
But yeah, so, No, which Lucky mentions, which is spelled with an H at the end, is the much more, artsy-fartsy, everybody is, way more, relaxed colors, lots more, monologues and poetry to the crowd. A lot of, I believe it has a lot of soliloquy, classical English.
Oh yeah, fucking Atsumori is a Nobu play, the one that Nobunaga likes to recite all the time.
Yeah,
has the the very drawn out delivery and whatnot.
Soliloquies, serenades, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, no. So I hope you all appreciated that knowing a little bit more about. Actually, I wonder what other mats say. That's the thing about FGO. They always give some detail, but they don't always give all detail, or they handpick their detail. It's a little weird.
And like I said, it's only been a couple of days. I'll double check, but I don't think there's any static profile translations for Okuni or Ranmaru yet. So I don't think we know if there's any heavy commentary. And actually, if I remember correctly, I think for profile, I think all of Okuni's Bond areas are locked by story progress.
Listen, I saw the PV. I'm not gonna be shocked if at some point Okuni just switches and has a male sprite. Okay, I'm really not. I saw that character. That was that. I saw that male character. I was like, who is that? I'm like, that's fucking Okuni dressed as a guy. I could be wrong though. I don't care.
Yeah, there it is. There's the picture. You have to complete the event story to work on. No, I'm seeing blocks of text for some of it, so I think that I think you can access some of it so far.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I mentioned Bunraku Puppet Theater, and I did talk about she has the item construction karakuri, the large scale puppet thing. So there's also some relation to puppetry theater. That is what her large boy played by Mafia is doing. He is a puppet man. Yeah, very dancy. And it's interesting that I will say there's a couple of interesting things they're clearly not ears, but her hairstyle in later Ascensions has hair horns, which look like ears. Honestly, which resemble ears of a certain other character who has a connection to Izumo Province. Her noble phantasm chant may begin, the gods dwell in Izumo. And also she's got this really interesting, like, dual hair thing, which makes sense for Kabuki. Like, Lucky's been posting GIFs. You know, the characters right now is the guy with the long white hair and the long red hair, so she, like, Okuni is, like, her hair is literally split down the middle. One half is, like, you know, ginger, the other half is, you know, silvery white. Even her puppet man, who has a name, I just can't remember it because it's not translated everywhere. But, like, he has, you know, the long white hair in Ascension 2, and then he's all red with the long red hair in Ascension 3. I will say Okuni is definitely not dressed like a male currently because she's doing the weird, funny thing that Japan likes to do now, where she's, like, got most of a kimono upper robe, but then it's just a normal-ass, like, short skirt with fake stockings.
Hang on, let me...
I mean, technically in her first Ascension, it is kind of a... it's not the full-length robe, it's the short skirt type, and she has actual stockings. Her second Ascension is just, she's wearing the fucking Miko outfit, because what do you do?
You do.
So, yeah, I don't know, like, how super well, like, you know, received the character is. I've seen a couple of arts. Nothing, like, exploding. But, like, design-wise, like I said, super cool. And, you know, on the one hand, you know, took you long enough, but on the other hand, I'm actually kind of, like, a little excited that, like, they dusted it off. We have a full-blown QUICC caster now.
Yeah, this person. If this turns out to be Okuni, I'm not going to be shocked.
I'm going to say probably not, but that's because I've seen that character's story sprite. That is a different artist than Okuni. That's the character design people think Clamp did. That is not confirmed.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, again, guess what? It's a GUDAGUDA event. There's like 5 new people story sprites. Are they going to be playable characters? Who the fuck knows?
God damn it.
Like, I think we have an on-screen appearance of Izo's, like, teacher or mentor, who has been mentioned a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's brand new character designs. Like I said, there's alternate Ryoma designs. It's, like, fucking, I don't know. It's gonna be another one of those things where, well, in 2 years, I'll figure it out. But it looks interesting. And, the new units we have are interesting, and who the fuck knows? There might be a banner, too. Like I said, the event, started the 17th, and it's going on the full 2 weeks into December. There could be the banner redo. And we'll just have to see what they do with it.
Yeah, but I do believe that will probably be it.
Oh, interesting. She's featured on a CE right away. That's neat. Also, this is a good CE. This is the damage bonus CE. I assume it's in the store, but it's a CE that gives you actually the CE goes great on her. Holy shit. Is this legal? This is a CE that gives you when MLB'd anyway, it gives you 50% starting NP, and it gives you 30% damage versus demonic enemies. It also gives you plus 100% damage bonus during the event, or plus 200% at MLB, and I'm like, what the fuck? Is this allowed? This is a great CE. I can't wait for that shit. Oh yeah, what does your bond CE do? Increase the party's damage against demonic enemies, and party's critical damage by 15%. God's Remains. Interesting art. Interesting themes. Do we have a translation on this? Wow, there's a fucking... Okay, there's like a novel summary in her bond CE. Jesus Christ. Robot Puppet Man's name is Zanzaburo, which I believe is a reference to something.
Wasn't that?
I think it's that there is a historical figure named Sansaburo. Anyway, there's a lot more research if you guys want to do your own. You want to do your own deep dives into the Kabuki.
Kabuki.
And not just Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD. Trauma film. But yeah, there's a lot here. It's cool. It's great. I will eagerly read translations of profiles and lines when people can access them.
Here it is. One of Okuni's most famous popular characters features the romantic character of Nagoya Sanzaburo, a real-life samurai who had died in 1603. On stage, Okuni's beautiful voice lured Sanzaburo's spirits back into the world of living to dance with her. That's what it was. Okay, yeah, that is 100% what we're going for there. Because, hey, 1603, you know, the dance, Robot Buddy, it's a whole thing. Yeah. I was like, I knew it sounded familiar. I was like, oh yeah, it's fucking from the play.
Lore. But alright, I think we've said all we can about that. We will eagerly, like I said, await translation snippets from the GUDAGUDA, and we'll have fun playing it in 2 years.
I'm excited.
Yep. Is your wallet excited?
A little bit, depending on how much my Apocalypse happens, we'll see.
And, you know, there's also future shit. Like, if this is if we don't care about the banners going on from, December into New Year's, no guarantees, but we might not. You know, that might be a good free space, free parking. It's free real estate. It's not really free real estate, though, because there's a lot of murder banners in this. But, yes. All right, so we will move on from that. We don't really have, like I said, we don't really have any other post-show, other news. Nothing going on in NA. We'll get more news tomorrow, or later today, when this goes live to the public. We'll be sure to talk about all through that stuff next week, when some of it will have actually happened, probably. Like I said, if it's anything urgent you need to know about, I'll drop a news desk right away, or we'll mention it on WhatsApp, because that'll be live-streamed. Mm-hmm. This is definitely not just a plug for you to watch WhatsApp. But also, historically, we do occasionally bring up, FGO scoop news on WhatsApp when we're like, hey, something happened. Whoops, we'll talk about it later. As reiterated, look forward to... I guess that would be... Yeah, we got one more show left in the month. Look forward to the Teach Me Awazaki Sisters. That will probably be... so many of my...
Listen, I'm not going to say the Awazaki Sister gets a little conspiracy board, but it gets a little conspiracy board.
Yeah, that's gonna be going on our colored string a little bit. If only because the relationship maps.
Listen, let me give you one, because this one always blows my mind. So, Toko Aozaki made the fucking Mystic Eye Killers, the fucking pair of glasses, to give to Shiki, Ryogi. Shiki said, "Fuck you, I don't want them." And here's where we have a time dip, and this is where we have a time split. If Aoko steals them, Aoko then gives those items to Shiki, I can't think of his actual name now.
Shiki Tono.
Tono, to use against time. But if Aoko doesn't steal them, Toko gives them to Ryder at the end of Heaven's Feel. This is what I'm talking about, how fucking Aozaki sisters are fucking weird.
Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere.
And Toko shows up to do that in the end of Heaven's Feel because of things that happen in the end of Heaven's Feel that don't happen in other routes.
Yes, because Aoko has the fucking the fourth magic, but Toko is still batshit insane just on her own.
Yeah, I mean, what's his face? Cornelius Alba's not kidding when in Kara no Kyokai he finds out how her magecraft works, and he literally has a fucking meltdown. Like he was on top of the world, he's the best. I crush your head, and then he's like, what the fuck? No, what, hold on, roll that back to me, what the fuck? And then as a horrible cat demon in his suitcase eats him, he's just like, what the fuck? Splat. It's a little underplayed because it's not actually the primo conflict of that episode of Kara no Kyokai, of that volume.
No.
That's the resolution between Shiki and Arya Soren, but no. Toko has a self-replicating magecraft where her puppets are indistinguishable from human beings, and if she dies, a puppet backup of her immediately wakes the fuck up and takes over. And Alba asks her, "But then how do you know you're you?" And she's like, I don't care.
Yeah, she's already
solved the Ship of Theseus problem.
Yeah.
And it is clarified that if the Mage Association knew about this, she would have a sealing designation.
I mean, she's already had a sealing designation twice.
Yeah, but it would be a new one if they realize this. Or possibly later in the timeline, if they do realize it, they give her another one. Because she's already... The reason why she's in Japan running a detective agency, kind of, is because... Well, apart from her personal problems with her sister, she's basically on the run from the association. She's laying low because they don't go to Japan. If they can help it.
The Aozaki sisters always play some sort of underlying supporting role. Yeah. Everywhere. Oh god.
In addition to in Mahoyo, Aoko is the main character and Toko is the antagonist. That's the weird thing, and I'm so mad that there's no adaptation of Mahoyo we can get access to. Because it seems sick. It's a really interesting deep dive on these characters. But yeah, no, it's they are so very important, and they just keep getting referenced, sometimes obliquely. I think Natsume even have clarified it was Toko in Heaven's Feel. The actual epilogue of the original VN might just say a certain puppet master or something,
Well, yeah, but it's because here's the thing. They said, I think they said Toko's worst puppet is still leagues better than what anyone can make, and that's what they got. They got one of Toko's bad puppets. Because this is something that was mentioned in Strange Fake, surprisingly enough, that Toko's ability to make puppets borders on the third magic because she can actually replicate her own soul into her puppets. Yeah, so she
does not die. Her soul is immediately transferred through magic goo. It's linked up, and the new body just wakes up, and hello, I am Toko.
So again, like I said, I went on this deep hole, and I just came out like I stared into the abyss.
And by the way, once again, Lucky brought that up. I believe she doesn't actually, at least as of Strange Fate currently, she doesn't show up. She's just mentioned as a character. They tried to get her into the Holy Grail War in America, and she was like, "No, that sounds dumb."
No, and then killed a character like 7 times because they pissed her off. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that is the thing. And I don't know if he did the no-no and called her Dirty Red, or just like pissed her off, and that's how Aoko rolls.
If I remember correctly, the Aoko sisters aren't necessarily mad at each other, but they just kind of stay out of each other's way now. But if you call Aoko Red, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, and why that is because of her inferiority complex with her sister, who Aoko is the younger, but her true magic is blue, right? But it makes her hair bright red, so Toko has a complex. Though despite this, only in Extra is she depicted with blue hair. But yeah, she's a bonus NPC in Extra, and introduces you into the bonus fight with Shiki, who is Monster. Because holy shit, Shiki's bonus boss. It's terrifying. Like it's like you said, this is just a preview. We will actually explain a lot of these events and connections if we do the Teach Me. And expect us to just be like, boom, blow your mind. Also check out, we're gonna do Fanservant Friday on Tamlin, finally.
Yeah.
Have some fun with that. But okie dokie, I think that's about everything we can faff. The show's not 3 hours yet, but what can you do?
What can you do?
We talked at length about what we know about GUDAGUDA. It's also only like 2 days old, so, we're struggling with limited information here. But we have hopefully a good episode. We have a lovely thumbnail for you. We will have more news for you next week, where we'll continue to yell about these things. If there is a banner too, it will happen by next week, so we will be sure to let you know about that. If you missed last week's episode, check it out. It's probably in the end screen for this episode, which I'm gonna guess is probably gonna be playing soon. So check that out. And like I said, I'll show for What's Up. If you need more hours of us, check out What's Up. It's always there. We do that every week too. It's pretty regular. And yeah, that's basically our length and breadth there. Lucky, any final thoughts on the show? Let's Talk FGO.
Nope.
All right. Scratch my nose some more, and we're gonna get out of here. And I'm gonna write my notepad notes for tomorrow, so I don't forget anything. Except I'll probably forget stuff because I didn't write it down in the notepad. Whatever. Watch us forget things in real time. What's Up with Omega and Lucky?
It's too real.
It's very correct. But I think that is the stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get out of your hair for today. We're going to leave you to go, maybe you got a place to be. Maybe you want to go watch that event stream for Anime MIC, We'd hate to rustle your day. You got to go log into some gotchas. So we'll be seeing you. I will do the outro. The outro goes a little something like this. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like. If you have any comments, leave in the comment section down below. We've called out several comments. You should praise Lucky. You should tell me what you want to do with command seals. I think I said like 2 or 3 other comments you should leave somewhere in there. Listen, it's been like 2.5 hours, okay? I don't remember everything I've said. I say a lot of things. So leave your comments. You can also join our Discord, that link in the description and on the channel page as always. Like I said, join our diverse community of gacha game players, Let's Talk FGO fans. Get all your spoilers talks. Spoilers talks. We have a bot you can yell at for support. You can fill out your friends list. All kinds of stuff. It's great. It's a great time. You can join our games chat, and if there's a new fighting game out that people care about, you'll find people who want to play it with you. So much yelling about fighting games. It's cool. You should also subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, so you can always get our content. Let YouTube know to recommend you. I got the whole thing. It's really good. You sub, you get good. You can also hit that bell for notifications. You always know when we post a new video or when we stream. It's very important for you, so you get alerts, so you know things. Not everybody obsessively checks their sub box every day. Get notifications. If you want to support us in other ways, you can, of course, leave us a super thanks in the comments. You can also join our channel membership, get access to emotes and membership badges. Badgy. And cool emotes. And the more memberships we get, the more emotes we get, and it's vital to supporting us. But, of course, like we said at the front of the show, you can support us on Patreon. You get access to this episode in audio format early. Literally, I edit the audio, I export it, I throw it on Patreon, then I get my computer cooking on the video version. So you can get access to the audio version early for as little as $1 a month or roughly $10 a year. Patreon does do annual memberships. At higher levels, you can access topic polls like our Teach Me poll. You could have broken that tie, not lucky. If only you'd given us $5. You can also, like I said, at any level, access our Patreon channel on our Discord. And at the 10 and up level, golden and above, you can access our show of Let's Talk FGO live. You can be in the patron chat. You can yell at us in real time, and we will usually yell back. And that is it for today's episode. I think there's only one way to end it. You